The bright lights of Friday night football are on once again here at Tomahawk Stadium in Indian Hill, Ohio. It's the home of Coach Kevin Seipel's Indian Hill Braves boys football team, who on this Friday the 13th of October 2006 evening will play host to Coach Barry Pettyjohn's Deer Park Wildcats in what promises to be another exciting round of Ohio boys high school football action, Cincinnati Hills League style. Hi everybody, Joe and Andy's dad, Dave Prem, along with my buddy, Michael and Abby's dad, Greg Schmidt, here to give you the play-by-play for tonight's pivotal matchup between two of the leading contenders for the 2006 CHL Divisional Crown. Greg, the stakes couldn't be higher tonight as the Braves come here with their 7-0 record, putting that on the line. It's senior night tonight, and it's homecoming, and if that wasn't enough motivation to win the game, the Deer Park Wildcats come in here kind of thumping their chests. They're uppity up. They're only 6-1. They only got one loss in the league, and they think they can beat us tonight.
Dave, you've hit a lot of the nails right on the head, and good evening to everyone, and welcome again to another exciting edition of Indian Hill Braves Football 2006 style. As Dave has said, we got a lot of things going on tonight. We've got senior night, we've got homecoming, and we've got a heck of a football game, or what we anticipate to be a heck of a football game. The Deer Park Wildcats come in at 6-1 to challenge the Indian Hill Braves with their undefeated record, 7-0 over the season. Deer Park having one loss in the league in the CHL play, so this is a pivotal game, and it's going to be big. Deer Park got some attention, Dave, as you know, in the prep football section of the Enquirer this morning. Featured some of their football players, so we are confident that Deer Park is ready to go. Their boys have got to be excited and ready to play, and we know that's the same here at Indian Hill.
We know, Greg, that article you're talking about that was in the Cincinnati Enquirer kind of touted the Wildcat offensive unit. We got a pretty good offensive unit ourselves, although we do have a couple of underclassmen that are kind of learning the ropes. Last week's game, a victory over Madeira, a 32-14 win right here at Tomahawk Stadium, was kind of a microcosm of the Braves season, as we saw the offense do some good things, the offense do some bad things, but we saw the old reliable defense step up and get another victory. And one thing you can say about this 2006 Braves team is they have a very, very good defense. Those guys have to bring their A game tonight.
They really do, Dave. The defense, we feel, has helped carry the team here and there throughout the season. The offense has played well, but it's more of a developing offense, and the defense is what we might say a very established defense. A lot of seniors on the defensive side of the ball, and they've really taken control a couple of the games, especially early on the Ross game. Some of the other games didn't allow a touchdown for quite a while. And when we look at the stats in the paper, we see numerous Braves listed under the defense section for tackles and fumbles and tackle recoveries. Our middle linebacker, Kevin McFarland, I think is third in the city in tackles. Michael Schmidt's on the list. There are a few other kids. Kramer Hendricks is on there, Ross Lockwood, and some others that are making the list. So the defense has really done a great job and has really carried the team. Now, you mentioned offense, but those boys aren't doing so bad either. Looking at the city stats, the Indian Hill team offense is ranked 11th in the city with 1,077 rushing yards, 1,373 passing yards, most for Mr. Bo Cordell, who we'll talk about a lot this evening, I'm sure, for a total of 2,450 total yards of offense through 7 games. Not bad.
Here comes our Braves, Greg. And, you know, as football games go, as you see those fireworks going off to pump up the crowd, the weather conditions couldn't be any more pleasant tonight. It's a little chilly, but that's what these guys like. That's what gets them fired up. It's a dry night. There's only a couple clouds in the sky. Mother Nature sure did cooperate for a great game tonight.
Absolutely. We've had great weather all season, and this is just an exceptional football night. Like you said, a little crisp, perfect October weather for football. Not a cloud in the sky. Probably, 45, 46 degrees here at kickoff, so everybody looks ready to go. Crowd psyched up. Time for some football.
And Greg, if I'm a predictor here, it looks like the kickoff team is on the field as I see your favorite player, number 45, the linebacker and kicker for the Indian Hill Braves, Michael Schmidt, a senior out there getting ready to kick off, and he's got a pretty talent-laden special teams unit out there, and they all look fired up and ready to hit.
Yeah, they definitely look ready to go. Michael got a new job this year. Kickoff is something that he has not been asked to do in his previous years, but Yeah, he's a senior, and coach wants him to kick off. He should kick off. So
looks like number 6, Ben Rascona, a junior, and number 12, Tyler Beard, a senior, are going to be back to receive Michael's kick. And this game's about ready to get started, Greg. The Braves on special teams this year have really done a great job, and we need to start off the game tonight with a great special teams play to set the tone.
Yeah, that would be big, and I'm sure Coach Seipel is not any too disappointed about getting to start on defense, because his defense really has. Well, there's that patented squib kick of Michael's there. That's number 32. I think we called 12 a minute ago.
I said 12. Yeah. It was 32. Keith Reddish, who makes his way out to about the 40-yard line, 42-yard line, call it, where the Deer Park Wildcats will start and have the ball first and 10. Let me tell you who the defensive unit is that you're going to see out there tonight, Greg. Number 50, Sam Moore, is the nose tackle. 57, Chase Daniels, and Zach Friedman, 76, along with 37, Ross Lockwood, are going to be on either side of Sam. 74 is Joe Wardeman. 45, of course, your son Michael Schmidt. 34, K-Mac, Kevin McFarland. And 88, Marcus Lewis. First play from scrimmage. And the quarterback, number 12, goes back to pass. Instantly recognizes no one's open and does a great job of coming right up the gut there, Greg, and picking up about 4 yards on a broken play.
Yeah, good job by the Indian Hill defense there. Didn't see anybody open, and forced Tyler Beard to pull it down and run with it. We've heard that he's as much of a running quarterback, or maybe even more of a running quarterback, than he is a throwing quarterback. So I imagine we'll see a bit of that tonight. So
number 5, Matt Keller. Number 12, Danny Gill. And number 17, Kramer Hendricks fill out the rest of the defensive unit that's out there now on second down and about 5 yards to go. And Beard has the ball, and he
fumbles on the ground. That's what we needed. That's what we needed.
On a great job. It looks like number 74, Joey Wardeman, does his job and puts the Braves in business there on about the 36-yard line. It looked like Tyler did not want to take the hit, and he was trying to pass the ball off on the option. Didn't do a very good job, hit the ground, and Joe did what he does best, and that's hustle to the ball and give us the ball in great field position, Greg.
Absolutely. This defense has been opportunistic all year long. Just another example of that. Braves fans are well aware, but for you all who haven't seen the Braves that often, that is something they've been doing all year long. So
number 18, Bo Cordell, hands off up the gut to number 3, John Von Dalen, who's met there by a wild bunch of Wildcats, but not before John Von is able to pick up a couple of yards there, give him maybe 3 and call it 2nd and 7. And you know, Greg, last week in the Madeira game, the one thing Madeira did well was shut down our run. When John Von's running the ball, it really takes the pressure off of Bo Cordell.
It really does. It opens up those passing lanes for Bo Cordell, takes some of the pressure off of him, makes those defensive linemen be a little more honest. So we'll give him a long 2.
Number 26, Leonard Riston, goes into motion, and then up the gut again is number 3, John Von Dalen, who we call John Von, and he picks up a couple of more yards, getting the ball down close to about the 31, call it the 32-yard line on the mark. It's going to be 3rd and about 5 yards to go, Greg, maybe 6.
Yeah, maybe a long 6, Dave. This may even be 2-down territory for the Braves here. We'll see what Coach Seipel has in mind. I'll be looking past. Let's find Nicky Kiriakis here. Here he is, split out on the closest to you all on the screen on the left side of the offense.
And Bo's back to pass, and he looks and fires out over the flat and hits Teddy Bolser right square in the numbers, and Ted can't hang on to it. Does number 33 as the ball falls uncaught, and it'll be 4th down, and we'll have to see what the coach decides to do here, Greg.
Yeah, I think he'll go for it. He's way too far for a field goal, and might as well go ahead and go for this.
Number 10, Joe Thomas, is one of the talented wide receivers. He comes out and brings a new play to Bo Cordell, and Bo gives the information to his offensive unit that he hopes will, in fact, convert this 4th and 6 into a 1st down. And Bo's back in the shotgun with John Von back there to protect him. He's looking, he fires out in the flat, and it's caught there by number 4.
There he is.
Nick Kiriakis.
Mr. Reliable. Mr. Reliable.
It looks like the Braves are going to be very, very close to a 1st down. In fact, they have a 1st down as the ball's down there on about the 22-yard line.
Good job, boys.
Good job by Bo as he surveyed the defense and saw Nick was open, took what they gave him, got a 1st down.
I'm renaming Nick Kiriakis Mr. Reliable. I'll tell you, when you need a big catch, he's always there, sure-handed, just finds a way to get open.
Big number
Always finds a way to
59,
get
Roland Summer, is about to get to the ball as the center, and then he's sent back by our referee as there's a time delay here. And while we have a time delay, Greg, let me introduce you to the Braves offensive unit. 59 is Roland Summer, the center. 63, Scott Porter, the right guard. 61, Stephen Krall, the right tackle. 72, Jim Thomas, the senior left guard, and number 61, Drew Voss. They're the line that's been protecting Bo very well all year. And 1st and 10 for Bo as he's going to hand off again up the gut to John Vaughn, and John
Nice
Vaughn
play
maybe
by
gets
number
back
53.
to the line of scrimmage as number 53 for Deer Park.
It's Gary Barnett Jr.
But Jr. does a great job of stopping John Vaughn. The great thing about being down in this field position, though, Greg, down here on the 20, is it's 4-down territory.
It's definitely 4-down territory now, no question about that. It'd still be an awfully long field goal for the Indian Hill kicker. So we got 3 yet to go 10. I'd like to see a little bit better blocking up front, though. We need a couple of holes for John Vaughn here and let him break one.
Bo back the pass again, looks, fires out in the flat, and over the head of the intended receiver, number 26, Leonard Riston. Ball could have been intercepted there, Greg. And when you get down this close to the end zone, you want to be careful with that ball. Don't throw it too high. Bo's pumped up tonight because he's playing his father's alma mater. His father, John Cordell, actually graduated from Deer Park, and I think Bo wants to hand it to him.
Wants to hand it to him. Yeah, Father John is sitting just below us here, right outside the booth. Dave, we'll have to ask him about that at halftime if we get a chance. So, big 3rd and 10 here for the Braves. Thinking pass, and so is Bo.
And Bo is able to beat the pressure and pick up maybe 4 or 5 yards there, Greg. Looks like it's going to be about a 4th down and maybe 6 yards to go for the Braves, as Bo could not find an open receiver and did the right thing, tucked the ball under, didn't try to do too much, took what they gave him.
Good mature move there, Dave. He's matured. We've seen him getting better every week, as Braves fans know. He's a sophomore and has been doing a great job getting better and better every week, and that was a sign of that maturity there. Don't throw it up. Don't do anything stupid. Pull it down. Get what you can get. And you got one more down, so we got 4th and 6.
Number 33, Teddy Bolser, and number 26, Leonard Riston on the left side of the field. Bo's going to go to that side. He's got Teddy, and Teddy goes right up.
Yes, sir.
Brings that ball down, and
don't you love to have a 6'5" receiver, Dave?
Another 1st down there, Greg, on a fine play by Ted, and we've seen that all year from Ted Bolser. Not afraid to give up his body. He goes up. He's a big guy, but he's a strong guy, too. You put the ball near him, he's going to come down with it more times than not.
Yep. Absolutely, Dave. That first play where he had some trouble pulling that ball in, that's not the Teddy Bolster that we know and we've seen all year long. That last play is the Teddy Bolster we know. He goes up and pulls that ball in. Looks like a big power forward coming down with a basketball rebound.
1st and goal for the Braves. They have an I formation in the backfield, and Bo's going to hand off to John Vaughn, and he's going to power his way up for 2 or 3 yards and get close to the 6-yard line. Looks like maybe call it a 2nd and goal from about the 6.
Yeah, it's trying to pick up the...
Might be the 7 there, Greg. And
I was trying to pick up the substitution. Sorry, Dave. There was a couple of guys going back and forth on the side, and I saw Kevin McFarland start, and he is in. So Coach has got the power backfield in there now. Kevin, 34, along with John Vaughn in the backfield.
Leonard Riston goes in motion to the right, and it's going to be a pitch to the right. John Vaughn's going to swing out and turn on the burners, and I'll tell you what there, Greg, a fine play by John Vaughn as he gets down close to the goal line, maybe at about the 1-yard line on a pretty nice play. Call it the 2.5 yard line, it looks like now. We have a bad vantage
angle
point up here, but
good
makeable play here as it's going to be 3rd and goal, and they're going to put him on about the 3. We got 2 good backs in the backfield that can do it.
Absolutely. Good job by Kevin there leading that last play. You got a good block out on the corner, so let's see if he can do that again and get John Vaughn in the end zone. Little reverse. Oh, nice block on the corner there by Teddy Bolster. Yes, sir. Beautiful.
Touchdown, Indian Hill. What a great play there, Greg.
You see Teddy Bolster turn that guy back in on the corner. He knocked somebody flat. Great job.
And a nice fake there by Kevin McFarland up the gut along with John Vaughn. The Deer Park Wildcats were keying on the inside because the Braves have been using that play so much, and that allowed Leonard Riston, along with that great block by number 33, Teddy Bolser, to scamper into the end zone, and now the Braves are trying to add another point.
They had that extra point. Yes. Let's see if it's good. It is good. All right.
And number 82, the boys call him the Italian Stallion, Greg. He's a transfer student, is Brian Baldassare. Baldassare, sorry. He does his job and puts the Braves up 7-0. And I'll tell you, Greg, this is the way that Coach Seipel and his coaching staff wanted to start this game. You know, the Deer Park Wildcats, as I said, they came in here fired up. They came in here believing that they could beat the Braves. And one thing you want to do is take the wind out of their sail early.
Knock it down quick, absolutely. We talked about the defense early on and what this defense has been able to do, and boom, here we go. First series, defensive turnover, give the ball to the offense on about the 40-yard line, let the offense blow the ball in. Up 7-0, just like that. So
6:18 left in the first quarter. Braves have a 7-0 lead, and big number 45, Michael Schmidt, gets ready to kick off again. And you know, Greg, these kicks that Michael's making are by design. He is not trying to kick the ball as far as he can.
As he doing gets the ball. Yeah, they've been having him do those squib kicks. Now that one he did seem to get up a little bit, got a little air under that one, but his trademark has become that squib kick, I think. So
number 1, Mac Minturn, made the tackle on the Deer Park Wildcat, who I think was number 6.
Ben Rascona.
He got the ball out to about the 38-yard line, where the Deer Park Wildcats and their quarterback Tyler Beard will have the ball 1st and 10, and Tyler is under his center, and he's going to hand off.
Oh, nice.
It looks like the
ball. I think the ball's on the ground again. There we go.
Look at that. Another Joe Waterman fumble recovery, and I'll tell you what.
Senior leadership at its finest, Dave. There's Chase Daniels in there, Michael Schmidt shooting that gap, Joey Werdeman on the ball again.
I was talking to
These
Joe's
boys are
father.
busting it.
I was talking to Joe's father before the game, and he was telling me about a couple of years ago, I think when your older son played here, they went up to Columbus and played a school up in Columbus, actually the school from Columbus came down here and beat us soundly. They were talking smack, and we had to go up there for their senior night, and we took it to them, and we beat them. And Paul
in the rain that night, by the way, a big rainstorm.
Paul was telling me that one thing that the senior boys said all week in practice was nobody is going to beat us on our field on senior night, and it looks like the Braves are making that come true.
So far, so good. I think they've brought their senior game with them, no question. We've seen the senior leadership just everywhere. I mean, the guys that we've talked so much about for years now are getting a chance to shine on senior night. Joe Werdeman, a couple of great opportunistic plays last week. Recovered a couple of fumbles, ran a fumble back last week against Madeira. So,
and I don't
Joey's everywhere.
I don't want to get ahead of myself because there's still a long way to go in this game, and I know Coach Pettyjohn is not going to just pack it in and quit. But one of the things that the Braves wanted to do this evening was take control of the game, and they've really done that.
Yeah, absolutely. They surely have. I think Deer Park has run 3 plays, and 2 of them have resulted in turnovers so far. But you said we got a long way to go. 6 minutes still to go in the first quarter.
Bo Cordell back to pass again, and he looks over the middle, and Leonard Riston unable to pull that down as it was overthrown. And what I was trying to say before, Greg, was tonight's game is a big game for both teams. If the Braves win this game, they will have at least a share of the CHL title. If the Braves win tonight and Reading loses, they're playing at Wyoming or they're playing against Wyoming, the Braves are the outright CHL champions. If Deer Park's able to come back and win this game, it's important to them because it puts them right back in the hunt. We'd have a loss, they've had a loss. Let's not let that happen.
Yeah, absolutely not.
I think you said when we talked about that stat before is Bo hands off to Leonard and it's a fake reverse, and Leonard gets stopped momentarily in the backfield and then wiggles and squiggles and takes something out of nothing there, Greg.
Nice move by Leonard, avoided the tackle of number 3, Ethan Carey, out there on the corner.
He picked up 6 yards where he should have been tackled in the backfield. That was a great play, an individual play by that young man. He's a sophomore, and I'll tell you what, I don't know if Coach Seipel knew last spring that Leonard Riston was going to be playing football for Indian Hill, but I guarantee you, Coach Seipel is one glad coach that Leonard's here. Yeah,
he is very, very lucky, or we all are lucky, and Coach Seipel is happy to have Leonard Riston here. He's a first-year player at Indian Hill, and he has done a great job. He's won his spot on offense just by his play.
Leonard and Teddy are off to the right, and the pass is over in the flat to number 4, Nick Kariakis.
Reliable again.
Catches that ball.
Still going. Look at him fight for yardage.
Refuses to go down as he gets the ball down to about the 21-yard line, Greg. It's going to be just short of a first down.
Yeah, we're going to have about a yard to go. I see him.
Looks like it's fourth.
Yeah, fourth down.
And
Fourth down, about a yard.
And once again, we're on the 20-yard line. We're going to go for this. We got some big guys like number 3, John Vaughn, that can pick up that yard if we need him, and we'll have to see what Coach Seipel has in store here as Bo goes up under center.
That's interesting. We don't see that often. We don't see him often. I don't know. He didn't get much of a push in there.
Didn't get a very good spot either there, Greg, and it's going to be very, very close. I don't think he's got it. I think it's going to be a little short, and our defense
he had to get to the 20.
I'm
I'm surprised to see Coach running a sneak when he's got a full yard to go there.
Well, but you know, that's the confidence the coach has in his offensive line.
He didn't get it.
He's telling that offensive line, you get me that foot. They didn't do it this time, but Coach Seipel, to his credit, has a lot of confidence in them. Defense has to come back out and tighten up and play hard.
Yeah, you got big John Vaughn in the backfield. You got Kevin McFarland on the sideline.
And number 32 now is out there also, Greg. Mitch Klosser, he's a senior. Might be a first-year player on football, but I'll tell you, played a lot of hockey and has done a very good job when his number's been called.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Deer Park takes over on downs then, 1st and 10 at their 21-yard line.
And Tyler Beard now under center. He sends his running back in motion, and they try to run up the gut. There's really not a lot of room there as a kid you know very well, big number 55, Sammy Moore, shuts down their running back for a very short gain.
Yep, a few Braves in on that. Number 37, Ross Lockwood. Of course, Kevin McFarland came up to fill the hole from his linebacker position as well.
I'll tell you too, Greg.
It gave him a foot on that. I didn't think he gained anything, Dave, but call it 2nd and long 9.
2nd and 9 now as Tyler Beard surveys the Braves defensive unit. He's got receivers on both sides of the field. He's going to go up the pass, and his receiver is unable to bring that in as it was overthrown. And I'll tell you, he was able to get back behind the linebackers, and it looked like our defensive back on that side might have been in a zone, and there was a seam there, and luckily Tyler wasn't able to complete the pass.
I think they were playing zone over there on that side. I'm having trouble still picking up the receiver's number, maybe number 46, Zach Barngrover.
And there's a flag on the play, Greg, and it looks like it's going to be holding against Deer Park, and that's going to move them back. Instead of getting positive yards and being 3rd and 9 or 3rd and something they can make, they're going to go back about 10 yards, and it's going to be 2nd down and about 19. And that's not what Coach Pettyjohn wants to see from his Deer Park Wildcats when they're deep in the Braves territory, or deep in their own territory, rather.
Yeah, that was not a good time for the Deer Park offense to have their first penalty of the evening. Sets them back to about the 10-yard line.
Greg, another kid that's out there right now is number 25, Owen Willis, another senior. I don't think Owen played last year either, and he stepped up and came back. He's a great athlete and a great addition to the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, he really is. Referee was over explaining something to Coach Seipel and his staff, but it looks like we're ready to go now. 2nd and 20.
Beard back. He's going to make a little swing pass out there, and I'll tell you
That's not going anywhere.
Number 57, Chase Daniels, and 88, Marcus Lewis, are not fooled at all, and that play, a pass play, results in a big, big loss for Deer Park.
They're going backwards.
They're almost at their goal line. They wanted to get to our goal line, not to their goal line, and I think Coach Seipel's pretty happy with that play.
Yep, good job by Marcus Lewis. He's the linebacker out there on that side. Did a great job of reading that, coming up and taking on his man. Chase Daniels is the end on that right side. Again, same thing, Dave. Good job getting out there and stopping that play before it ever got started.
3rd and to Pluto to get a first down as it's 3rd and 25, and Tyler Beard is backed up in his own end zone, and he's just going to concede this ball.
Drop kick, that's interesting. We haven't seen that for a while. On 3rd down. Worked out pretty well.
Gets the ball down to about the 39-yard line. That's a pretty good play for them, Greg, because what Coach Pettyjohn did not want to do, they're still in this game. He did not want to have another mistake down there in the shadow of our goal line where we could score. Let's regroup. You know, they've had the ball 3 times now. They're starting to get the feel for the game. They're starting to get in the game a little bit. They can come back, is what he's thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. And really, even two bad things could happen. One, the problem down there on the goal line, as you mentioned, and number 2, if they do punt it in a normal punting situation, they know about our Danny Gill back there running punts back like there's no tomorrow. So he avoided 2 potential problems with that fake or drop kick.
Bo Cordell and the boys now have the ball on the 39-yard line, and he's got 2 backs back there with him. He'll give to John Vaughn, or no, it's a fake.
No, he keeps it.
Bo keeps it, does a good job, and picks up about 4 yards on a pretty nice play fake. Had me fake, Greg.
Good keeper there. I don't think we've seen that play yet this year.
Great.
And Greg, this quarter going rather quickly, 3:09 and counting to go, as the Braves have had the ball on the offensive side for most of the first quarter, and now Bo's going to come up to the line with a 2nd down and 5 yards to go. He's got receivers, 2 on one side, 1 on the other. He'll hand off to John Vaughn, and John Vaughn really
beats it up inside. He's got a tough running style. He puts his head down and just runs over people. You gotta admire him for that. Look at him stick his head down, gets about 7 on that.
What I understand from talking to the defensive guys that have to go up against John Vaughn in practice,
but they don't like that. I bet they don't like that.
He's a fast kid, but he's a good kid. And we're looking at 3rd down now and 3 yards to go for Bo and the boys, and he's going to give it to John Vaughn again, and John Vaughn picks up an Indian Hill 1st down.
Look at him dive in there. Put that head down and dive.
He comes right up and takes what they give him.
Spot. Referee's looking a little uncertain now. That's got to be a 1st down. Although I still haven't seen an indication. He's scoping it. Got to measure. Timeout for a measurement with 1:53 to go in the first quarter. Had a lot of excitement, and Dave, as you said, most of the action has been down at the Deer Park end of the field. Braves have had the ball most of the time. We don't have any stats on time of possession yet, but it's got to be way lopsided in favor of the Braves, and Deer Park's got to be happy that it's only a 7-0 Braves lead.
And Greg, one of the things we were talking about at the beginning of the game is how you can take the wind out of the Wildcats' sails by scoring and taking them out of the game. The longer that the score remains 7-0, the longer they're in the game, and at some point they got to feel like, hey, we can play with these guys.
Yep.
This is an important play right here as the Braves get a 1st down. This series would be important if the Braves could go down the field and score in some way, whether it's a field goal or a touchdown. It sure would be helpful in taking the Wildcats out of the game.
Yeah, nice sustained drive here. As you said, Dave, they did get the 1st down with the measurement. So 1st and 10 Braves.
And Bo's going to pitch over to number 26, Leonard Riston, who makes
nice
his way
move
outside.
by Leonard.
I'll tell you what, Greg, he is a very, very quick player.
He is very quick.
I don't know if the TV camera can show you how quick he was, but looked again like he was going to get hit behind the line. He made an out move and was able to outrush 4 Wildcats and pick up about 7 yards where he really should have had 9.
Yeah, nice little move like he was going inside, and he broke it right back outside. And as you said, Dave, picked up the 6 or 7 when it looked like there was nothing there. So he is definitely a talent and a great find this year for Coach Seipel.
2nd down now and 3 yards to go as John Vaughn is the only running back in the backfield. We've got receivers on the left and on the right, and Bo is going to go back to pass, and he finds number 4.
There's Mr. Clutch, Mr. Reliable again.
Nick Kiriakis.
Come on, Nicky, hold on to the ball. I saw the ball come out.
Another
Nicky got it back.
Down there.
Just make sure we got the ball. Yeah, 1st down. All right, good.
And Greg,
it's on the far side of the field from us. A little hard to see. As we wind down, got about 45 seconds to go in the first quarter. It's going to be 1st and 10 Braves. Dave, go ahead.
Well, that was a great play by Bo. He threw the ball about 25 yards, only picked up about 5, but Nick was wide open, just was able to get over on that sideline untouched, and that was a great play for a 1st down. 39, John Whitehouse goes in motion, and
ball's out. That's a problem.
Well, I don't know.
Ground, he hit the ground.
The argument that I would make is that the ground cannot cause a fumble, and that's exactly what happened. Is John Von Dalen fell to the ground and the ball came dislodged. You've got to think
Deer Park ball, though.
You got to think that Coach Seipel's going to ask the refs about that. and I don't see him talking about it. They've indicated clearly it's a Wildcat ball. I'm not so sure that's a correct call.
Coach Seipel looks like he's asking for an explanation, and here comes one of the officials over now. He's asking him about it, but he's not getting.
That's exactly what he's saying is the ground caused that fumble.
Popped right up out.
And indeed it did, but the refs didn't see it that way, and now the Wildcats have the turnover and have the ball on the 35-yard line. And number 32 for Deer Park.
Tripped up by number 76, Zach
Reddish
Friedman.
Is met by number 76, Zach Friedman, in the backfield. And the one thing I will say again, Greg, about this Braves team is it is amazing how great the defensive unit is. And Greg, I'm looking down on the field now, and I see a player for the Indian Hill Braves. I can't see his number, but I think
that's Leonard Riston.
He was injured.
No, Leonard's on the field. I take that back.
He was injured in some way, and he's being led off. And we'll have to get that number of that player as he's being led off on a stretcher by paramedics. And let's hope that injury is more. Let's hope that the treatment that he's getting is more precautionary.
Yeah, it looks like it is
a sign of something serious. And I didn't see how he would have been injured, Greg, other than when Leonard was.
I don't think it
toppled. If it was in fact Leonard, I don't know who it is.
It could be. I don't see 26 out there anywhere. There's a lot of bodies to look at and a lot of bodies to scan. We don't want to cause any unnecessary concern.
No,
it's not Leonard there. We just found him.
We'll have to find out who that player is, Greg. Our thoughts and prayers are with that player and his family, yes. Hopefully.
Saw Doc Hollywood, Dr. Kremchek was with him, so he's in good hands. We're very fortunate to have Dr. Kremchek as part of the medical staff for the Braves, and he and his people do a great job of looking after our football players.
Hey, Greg, the second quarter of this game's about to start. The Braves have a 7-0 lead. Deer Park's got the ball on about the 34-yard line where it's 2nd and 11. Tyler Beard, the talented quarterback from Deer Park, is under center. He's got two backs in an eye behind him. He's going to give to the second back who
there's just nothing there. Look out.
Any room is a swarm of Indian Hill Braves led by
Kevin McFarland.
Number 34, K-Mac. Are able
Stevie
to bring
Forbes,
down that,
50 Stevie Forbes is in there
runner.
too. 45 Michael Schmidt.
That's good to see, Greg. Steve Forbes has been nursing an injury throughout the season, and it's good to see that he's back. He's really been working hard, and he's really been trying hard to get back in the game. He's a big part of the defense. It's nice to have him back there.
Yeah, it really is. Doug Feigelson just brought over some first quarter stats for us, which we'll try and get to here in a minute.
Big 3rd and 12, Greg. Beard's going to go back, and he's going to look to pass, and he's hit just as
intercepted by
number 17,
Kramer
Hendricks to the house.
Yeah, big block by Kevin McFarland.
What a big
Takes
play.
it to the house. Let's have some fireworks. Yeah.
Big play there by Kramer Hendricks. Tyler did a good job. He was just about to get hit by a couple of attacking Braves. He got the pass off, a pretty good pass. Kramer read it all the way, stepped up, got the ball. You know, Kramer's quite a receiver and did what he knows how to do, and that's run back about 40 yards and put the Braves up 13-0.
He was a receiver all the way on that one. Great set of hands, just came up, took that ball away from the Deer Park receiver and took it to the house. A heck of a play by number 17. Again, Dave, some senior leadership as we've been talking. Another great job by a 4-year player. There's some more Hendricks coming up too. Kramer's got a couple of younger brothers, twin brothers that are going to be coming up and playing. They play JV now. They'll be varsity stars in a year or so, I'm sure, like their brother.
His brother Max, number 44, gets a little bit of time on special teams on varsity. He's a really good player, a great asset to the Braves, and as you said, a future varsity Braves star. And number 82, Brian Baldassare, is that right?
Baldassare.
The Italian stallion back again. He's going to try to put the Braves up by 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points as number 74, Joe Waterman, gets ready to take the snap, and the ball's up, and right through those uprights.
Dead center there. Way to go.
Braves up now 14-0, Greg, and what a huge play by Kramer as he stepped up and did exactly what we talked about, and that really puts the pressure on Deer Park. You know, when the game is going your way, when you're able to run and pass, it makes it easy to use an offense. When you get behind by a couple of scores, then suddenly you find yourself pressing, and that's exactly where our defense wants you, because if you're pressing, you're going to make mistakes, and we're going to capitalize.
Yep. The Indian Hill defense has them right where they want them right now. No question about that. Talking about defense, let's talk about these first quarter stats just a little bit. Deer Park had eight EIGHT total yards of offense in the first quarter.
We gave them that many?
Yeah. They had -7 yards rushing, and the rest was on passing. So they had a total net yardage of 8. Indian Hill 71 total yards in the first half, 13 rushes for 36 yards. Bo Cordell 5 of 8 for 35 yards. The time of possession we had alluded to a moment ago, way lopsided in favor of Indian Hill. 8 minutes, 46 seconds to only 3 minutes and a few seconds for Deer Park.
Number 6, Ben Rascona, number 32. Keith Radish for the Wildcats are set to receive the squib kick from Michael Schmidt, and number 6 does get the ball and gets outside, but isn't able to do a lot with it as number 12, Danny Gill, and number 5, Matt Keller close in a hurry on number 6 and bring him down about the 35-yard line where the Wildcats will take it 1st and 10.
Looking at a few more of the stats that we've been handed, Dave. First downs, of course, Deer Park no first downs in the first quarter. Indian Hill 4, as we mentioned already, 36 yards rushing, 35 yards passing, total 71 yards. So pretty good first quarter for Indian Hill offense, most of which was set up by the defense.
Tyler Beard back to throw now from the 37-yard line and throws right across the middle on a great throw there and a great catch by number 3, Jeremy Mathis, as he picks up a first down. And you know, that was the Achilles heel of the game last week, Greg, as a flag is down on the field, and we'll have to see what that is Madeira was able to pass over the middle, and you see the Wildcats applauding as you're going to add insult to injury and tack another 15 yards.
Wow.
On that gain, as it's a personal foul against the Brave, and that's going to move the Wildcats deep into Indian Hill territory, and the Braves are going to have to step up now on defense and get this ball back.
Yeah, I didn't even see anything there. I saw number 32 for the Braves, Mitch Klosser, coming off of the field and talking with Coach Topping, but didn't see any indication on who that was called against. But in any event, 15 yards marked off against the Braves, so that's the biggest gain Deer Park's had all night.
There's a handoff to number 48 who finds it running on the Indian Hill
big
Braves.
5'5", Sammy Moore on the tackle, along with 57,
number
Chase
48,
Davis.
Jamie Gooch finds it running against the Indian Hill Braves. Defense is almost as easy as putting a needle in a haystack and then finding it.
He lost almost 5 yards on that, so the negative yardage trend continues for Deer Park, and I'm sure Coach Pettijohn is concerned about that.
2nd and 14 now. Should be 2nd and 15, as that was a first down play, and Beard's going to go back to pass, and he's looking, and passes thrown off to the right, and number 25 there for the Indian Hill Braves. Owen Willis had a chance at it. You know, Owen got a touch or an interception a couple weeks ago at the tail end of a game. I was very proud about that, and I'd like to see him do something big tonight on his senior night.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see Owen get a pick this evening. That pass was intended for number 5, Ori Harrison, for Deer Park.
48.
Throw by Tyler Beard, just a little bit behind him there.
48, Jamie Gooch comes in with the new play that Tyler Beard will use for the 3rd and 15 play here, and Tyler's going to have to burn the second timeout.
He get his timeout, yeah. And good thing he did, because he was about to get a 5-yarder for delay.
Well, I think what happens, Greg, is the referee in the back behind the linebackers will signal to the quarterback when there's 5 seconds left. And he gave that signal to Tyler, and you got to give credit to him. Tyler knew what to do. He realized he could not get the play off, and rather than try to push something, maybe get an offside or an illegal procedure, he called the timeout.
Yeah, good call by Tyler Beard there to avoid the 5-yard penalty. He's got a long third down situation here. It may even be 2-down territory. So with the 3rd and 15, the last thing you want to do is make that 3rd and 20. If you can pick up a little bit here on 3rd down, pick up 7 or 8 or 9 of it, you might be able to come back and pick up the rest on 4th down and get yourself a 1st down. So
I got to tell you, Greg, I don't know how many people are here tonight, but we're pretty lucky because I don't see an empty seat out there on the Braves side of the field. And if you look down there in the end zone, there sure are a bunch of students giving their support to the Braves as well.
Looks like a record crowd. I don't see any room to sit anywhere. The aisles are full.
Tyler Beard goes back. He's going to do a little screen pass there, and that's going to work pretty well for number 32. Picks up a 1st down, Greg, as Tyler threw the ball about 2 yards, and number 32, Keith Reddish, their talented fullback, is able to use some speed and burn it up over there and pick up a 1st down.
Yeah, that was a good play there. They did a good job of selling that left and then went back right, and he had a little blocking out in front, so that was a good piece of execution by the Deer Park Wildcats there to pick up their 1st down.
Greg, you know, as we're winding down here in the 2nd quarter, there's 9:51 to go in the 2nd quarter, and with the Wildcats now getting that 1st down, we're looking at Beard, and he's going to pass, and he's got a guy wide open, and he catches it for a touchdown. Does number 6. Ben Rascona, and he got behind number 5, Matt Keller, for that score there, Greg. And one of the things I was just about to talk about was one of the defensive categories that Coach Tyson takes a lot of pride in. It was actually number 5, Oral Harrison, that scored that touchdown. But one of the things that Coach Tyson and his defensive unit take a lot of pride in is they only give up about 8 points a game. And let's hope that touchdown and that extra point that was just kicked by number 6, Ben Rascona, are the last points that Deer Park scores tonight.
That may be it. The defense has been averaging a touchdown or less per game. Now, that happened last week with Madeira. Now, Madeira did score later in the game, a somewhat meaningless touchdown at that point for their 2nd 7. But the defense was able to hold them to 7 through most of the game last week. And let's hope that they can do that again this evening.
Well, for the first time tonight, you're going to see our kick return team out on the field as
one Danny Gill,
the Braves,
very talented young man,
are about to receive the ball for the first time in that fashion. And number 26, Leonard Riston, also goes back there. Number 5, Matt Keller. 3 very speedy guys back there, Greg, that can really turn on some excitement, and they can get you some good yardage and some good field position. Absolutely,
our 3 talented return men that haven't gotten a lot of chances to return balls this year. The defense has been playing so well, holding the opposing offenses down. Get as many kickoffs, which of course we like, the way we'd like to see it.
Greg, number 12, Tyler Beard, the quarterback, is going to do his version of Michael Schmidt from a versatility standpoint, as he's also going to serve as the kickoff man, and we'll have to see if Tyler's as good on the kickoff as he is at a quarterback position.
No, there seems to be some, he didn't have his tee. Seemed to be some problem there. He wasn't getting the ball set up, but now he's got his tee. It looks like we're getting ready to go. So 9:45 to go in the 2nd quarter. Plenty of time to go yet in the 2nd quarter. Indian Hill up 14-7.
Pretty good kick there by Tyler Beard. Going to be fielded by Leonard. He's going to drop it, picks it up, able to make it out through the first wave of Wildcats and get the ball up to about the 25-yard line. A dangerous play there, Greg, as Leonard was not able to get that ball right away, but give him some credit. He concentrated, didn't panic, did get the ball, and was able to get about a 10, 15-yard gain out of that.
Yeah, he stayed with it, took his eye off of it for a moment, but regained his composure and picked it up and took off. So good job. Not great field position, but we'll take it.
Number 18, Bo Cordell, brings his offensive unit back out on the field to try to answer this Deer Park touchdown that was aided by a huge Indian Hill personal foul penalty. And Bo's going to go back and throw right away. And he's looking, and
get rid of the ball.
Not
Bo.
able to get the ball. And
Bo, don't hold on to it. Get rid of it.
There by number 30 for Deer Park, Shane Englert. Shane's a junior, plays fullback and linebacker, and did a pretty good job of penetrating back there and chasing Bo down. And Greg, that's the one observation I've made this year about Bo Cordell, is he is a very talented quarterback. He obviously is the guy to have at quarterback on our team, but he's only a sophomore and he is going to make mistakes. That time should have thrown the ball away and didn't.
Yeah, he had plenty of time to get rid of the ball, and that's part of that learning process.
2nd and 24 for Bo and the Braves now, as they're backed up on about the 11-yard line, and he's going to hand off up the gut to John Vaughn on a delayed draw play, and gives him a little bit of breathing room, Greg, as he picks up maybe 5 yards of that needed 24. It'll be 3rd and still long, 3rd and 19, 3rd and 18 yards for Bo.
Yeah, another good job by John Vaughn, just running over people up through that middle. He's a good, tough inside runner, and breaking tackles as he goes. That's a tough area of the field to run from.
And a lot of times, Greg, this part of the game, when you're in this part of the field with this score, can be like a chess match. Coach Seipel may not be thinking, I'm going to make the first down here, but he may be trying to get some field position, get some heat off his players. Bo's going to look, and he's going to get that ball off. And
look out.
Almost caught by Teddy Bolser. 1, 2,
3, 4, 5 white shirts around Teddy Bolser.
And then almost intercepted by number 82 for Deer Park, James Collins, as the ball was overthrown. And now the punt unit and number 43, sophomore Kane Muir, are going to have to come out and try to get this ball down the field and then try to tackle the talented running backs for Deer Park, number 6, Rascona, and number 32, Radish.
Yeah, surprised that Coach Seipel tried to pass his way out of that hole down there, that he didn't try and run his way out of it. But nonetheless, those two incomplete, well, the sack and then the incomplete pass, it took care of that series of downs. So we'll turn it over and let the defense do their thing.
Kane Muir gets a punt of about 25 yards there, Greg, and goes out of bounds on our 45-yard line. Pretty good field position for Tyler Beard and the Wildcats to start this series. There's 7:56 left in the first half. Braves still up 14-7, and we'll have to see if the defense can turn up the intensity a notch.
Yeah, some great field position for Deer Park, starting in the Indian Hill territory, Indian Hill into the field, 1st and 10.
Beard back to pass, and he passes out in the flat, and it's caught over there by number 3, Ethan Carey, and Carey was wide open in that zone, and give Tyler some credit there, Greg, as he found that opening and just zipped the ball over there and got it to his receiver.
Yeah, good job. He put some good zip on that ball, found the open man, and hit his receiver. It's a big gain for Deer Park. That's about a 22, 23-yard play. 1st and 10 at the Indian Hill 28. Got the defense moving backwards now, and again, it's the passing game. It's not the running game. It's the passing, which has been the Achilles heel of this Indian Hill defense this year.
Beard back again.
Sure,
he's going to pass.
it.
He's got a big
Same
pass.
play. Turn around.
Not going to be able to get that ball out, as overthrown and
just slightly overthrown there, but good coverage by Owen Willis, number 25, in on the coverage there.
Great coverage by Owen Willis, and really a pretty good pass by Tyler Beard, as he threw it where only his intended receiver could catch it. That was number 5, Oral Harrison again, and
might be an I. Ori Harrison.
Ori Harrison.
He splits out on the left side most of the time.
2nd down now and 10 for Tyler Beard, and
6'4", they have him on the charts at. He looks to be 6'4", too. He's going back.
And picked off there by number 45. Michael.
Know him.
And what a big play by
Mikey. His first interception of the year, so good job, Michael.
I'll tell you what, his first interception of the year couldn't come at a better time.
That's huge,
Our
isn't it?
defense was kind of on their heels, Greg, and Tyler was just starting to settle in and start to make some passes, and give credit to your son. He's also played on the offensive side of the ball. He knew what to do when he caught the ball.
Yeah, he's played a lot of offense in his football career. Knows what to do with it when he gets it.
Not
good
quite
job,
as,
Michael.
Not quite as quick as Kramer, but still knows what to do when he has that ball.
Yep. Good job. That was very opportune. We've talked about the opportunistic defense, and there is another example. Get our offense back out on the field. Let Bo and the boys do their thing. There's Mr. Clutch, Nicky Kiriakis, trying to get outside.
And that ball, Greg, in fairness to Nick, was a little underthrown by Bo, and give Nick the credit.
Yeah, he had to come back to catch that.
And caught it and really got a couple yards out of it. Probably shouldn't have had any.
Yeah, well, if he would have had a pass out ahead of him, he probably could have picked up 5 or 6 or maybe more on it. But when he had to come back, wait for the ball to get there, that gave the defense time to catch up with him. So, all right, offense, let's get it rolling here. 2nd and 8 at the Indian Hill 31.
Bo back in the shotgun with 2 receivers or 2 running backs back to block him. Fake to
look out.
John Vaughn, and nice little play over there as Bo's able to get that off to Leonard, and that's a dangerous play, Greg.
That is a dangerous play. That I said look out.
If that's not executed just absolutely perfectly, it is disaster.
And there's nothing but green between the ball, and the end zone for Deer Park either.
As we saw in the first quarter, when the Deer Park quarterback, Tyler Beard, tried to do the same thing and wasn't able to get the flip off, and
bad things happen.
Joe Wardeman was able to get that ball in. Bo Cordell now on a 3rd and 5.
Big 3rd down here. See a
Looks,
completion. Mikey gone. Come on,
9,
Michael. Hold on to the ball. Michael gone. That away. Great run after catch.
And you know there, Greg, another great example, another great
senior leadership.
Michael Gahn has impressed me throughout his career in football. He does not complain.
Goes out and does his job every day, works hard.
Didn't get a lot of playing time last year on the varsity team. Took whatever they gave him. He played special teams, never complained.
Some big catches last year.
One of the big assets
this year.
to this team this year is Mike Gahn.
Yep. All right, big 1st down, little breathing room. Let's get this ball back on the Deer Park side of the field here. Look out. Wow, that play is just not going to produce good results. I don't understand that.
Well, that's an example there, Greg.
Just keep giving it back to him.
Well, Leonard wasn't able to pull that ball in, and it's a good example of the sophomores on the team, the young guys on the team trying to do too much. We were successful in the first quarter taking what they gave us. Take 3 yards, they give you 3, take 3 yards, march down the field. When you try to do too much, bad things happen more often than not. And now,
I don't think we need to play that option game with these guys either. That's the thing. You know, that's a new wrinkle. We don't need that.
There's 5:47 left in this first half. 5 minutes and 47 seconds, and really, Deer Park.
You take the ball away and you give it right back to them. You just keep giving them life back. You know, they're down by 7. You just let them stay in the game. You're better off to go ahead, straight ahead 3 times, 4 and out, and punt it and put them down at the other end and play field advantage or field position game with them.
The only thing I like, though, Greg, is that Deer Park continues to try to run the ball, and they've not been able to do that all night.
I hope they do that all night, because it'll end up 14-7 if they keep trying to run it all night.
Greg, we're going to have to see when we get our stats for the second half from our statisticians, Doug Feigelson, who does a great job. We're going to have to see how many turnovers there have been in this game. I know the Braves.
We might set a record.
Incompleted pass there as Tyler Beard tries to hit his receiver, number 3, Harrison, and Harrison's down on the ground and unable to scoot that ball up, and that was a lucky play for us.
Yeah, that for a second I thought he was able to catch that and keep his hands underneath it, but we can see now, no. 3rd down, so it'll be 3rd and 10. 3rd and a long 9 for the Deer Park Wildcats. Let's see what Coach Pettyjohn has in mind here. You got to be thinking pass at this point, especially since that's about the only way they've been gaining any yardage against the Braves defense.
The crowd here is going wild and they're yelling.
We need a rush. Here comes Joey Wardeman. Nope.
Joe Wardeman and
somebody needs
other players, and does Tyler Beard does a great job. I'll tell you one thing though, wasn't called, but he was very close to the line of scrimmage, and I thought may have been a little too close, but the referees didn't see it that way and give him some credit. He had guys breathing down his neck, was able to concentrate and get the ball down to his receiver for a first down.
Well, there's that example again of leaving them hang around. You know, keep giving them the ball back and let them think they can play with you. You just keep breathing life back into their offense. So here we go, 1st and 10 at the Indian Hill 25-yard line.
4 minutes and 50 seconds left in this first half, and Beard now with receivers split both ways is going to go back, and he's looking to pass, and he's got a receiver. And I will tell you what, that number 3 Harrison is a really good receiver, a possession type receiver, because number 12 Danny Gill was all over him. He was wearing that guy, or the receiver Harrison was wearing Gill like a coat, still able to come down with that ball. That's Ethan Carey, pardon me.
Yeah, Ethan Carey, all right, number 3. Well, Beard has a couple of talented receivers to throw to. There's no question about that. And we've seen that already. Leaving them hang around. Little kind of trap play inside. Looks like number 6.
Ben Rascona goes up the gut and is tackled there by a swarm of Braves. Picks up very short yardage. Maybe about 1 yard there, Greg.
Yeah, I think I'd give him 1.
The clock is running 4:19 and counting in this first half. And you know, Greg, as we get close to halftime, a lot of things are going to happen at halftime. We're going to get out of here kind of early, because you and I have to go down at senior night, and we have senior kids that have participated in activities. And
going to try and take it in himself. Hit right on the goal line by number 45. Michael Schmidt stops him just short.
About a foot short, and that's going to be a 4th down, and I think he'll punt.
Yeah. No, we got 3rd down, don't we?
Third down, 3rd and 1.
3rd and 1.
Well, they punted on the last 3rd down when they had the ball down at that same end.
Yeah, they're just going, yeah, right. Just going the other direction then. But
our defense really has to tighten up here, Greg. Is they're going to bring in some big boys, and
this would be a sneak play here. Yep. Sure enough, but
no,
he's knocked back.
He did not get it.
No way. He actually lost a little yardage, I think, Dave.
Nice play there as Sam Moore.
76, Zach Friedman came shooting through. 37, Ross Lockwood. Yep. 55, Sammy Moore, as you said.
All did a great job. K-Mac in there.
Look at that ball, baby. That's right on that goal line.
We'll have to see now, Greg, 3 minutes and counting, and they bring in number 6, Ben Rascona, who weighs all of about 160 pounds, but he sure is a quick back, and got to wonder whether he's going to be one of the guys to get the ball now, as Tyler Beard is under center, and here he goes. He's going to hand off, and
I don't think so.
They did not get it. They did. As their receiver looked like we stopped them for a moment, but then they were able to push that ball over and get the touchdown. And Greg, now they're 1 point away from tying this up.
Yep. 14-13. Extra point awaiting. And again, you know, we've talked so much about leaving them hang around, You got to put your foot on the throat and stomp. You can't let them keep coming back.
Deer Park's a little bit like us, Greg, as number 6 Rascona is the extra point kicker. Tyler Beard is the kickoff kicker. The ball snapped, and he does a great job of getting that ball straight through the uprights. And Greg, we've almost played 24 minutes of high school football on this October 13th, Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
It's not bad luck for the Braves. And we're all tied up 14-14, and our Braves have to answer big right now.
Yep, not a lot of time to go, but it's time to little gut check time here and see if they can't move this ball down the field, put some points up on the board before halftime.
Really got to tip your hat to Coach Pettyjohn, Greg, because that first quarter belonged to the Braves, and they really were controlling the tempo. He took a couple of timely timeouts, calmed his troops down, told them not to worry, just play football, and they're back in it.
Great call on that 3rd down on the drop punt, as we've talked, or really surprise punt. You know, trying to play the field position game, put Indian Hill back much further than he could ever hope for with a standard punt, and something we talked about before with the Braves. You know, and get that ball back down at the other end and play field position, but the Braves haven't been able to do that.
Deer Park's Tyler Beard, number 12, the quarterback, is set to kick off, and he does, and puts it down there, and it's going to go out of bounds. That's going to be a penalty. We'll have to see where the Braves, what they do on that. I guess that's just an automatic placement of the ball on about the 35 yard line.
Probably. I think it's an automatic spot at the 35 in high school. There's no re-kick or marked off penalty. First and 10 Braves at the 35.
That'd be a pretty good play if you had a really speedy running back and you didn't want the guy to have the ball. I'd kick it out of bounds every time.
Got a 35, yeah.
Here we go, first and 10 for the Braves. They're on their own 35-yard line. Bo's back to pass, and he's going to look. He's firing out in the flat. There's your boy, number 4, Nick Kariakis, and Nick picks up
gets
a
out
first
of bounds.
down there.
That's good.
Gets out of bounds. Not a bad
good job.
play.
Yeah, good job. Mr. Reliable, Mr. Clutch, Nick Kiriakis, great set of hands, pulling that ball in, picks up a first down, gets out of bounds, stops the clock.
Greg,
with 2:30 to go in the first half.
It would be huge here if the Braves were able to score before halftime. There's only 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. We still have all our timeouts, and let's see if Bo can do this.
Test for the young sophomore quarterback here. Keep
Everybody
your cool, keep your cool.
Bo just
throws it out. Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's all right. Nobody's open. Get it out of bounds. Stops the clock.
He did a great job there, Greg. I'm not sure if you could see this at home, but Leonard Riston was open, but had a defender right next to him. And rather than take that risk of trying to make that pass, Bo did the right thing there and just threw it where nobody could catch it.
Throw it out of bounds.
Smart play by Bo Cordell.
Let's reload and go 2nd and 10 here.
2nd down and 10 now for Bo Cordell and the Indian Hill Braves, as he's got a receiver split out wide to the left is Teddy Bolster. He's got 2 backs in the backfield. He's back to pass is Bo Cordell, and he's got number 9, Michael Gahn, who had it for a moment, then unable to hold on to it and dropped the ball. Now it's going to be 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, good job by number 22 there on the Deer Park defense. That's Robbie Adkins. Did a nice job of hitting Michael Gahn just as he caught the ball and was able to knock it loose. So it'll be 3rd and 10 Braves, 2:19 remaining in the first half.
Number 10, Joe Thomas, another senior, comes in with the play that Bo will use on this 3rd and 10 from the 46-yard line, and Bo back to pass, and he's going to get the ball over the flat, and nice catch there by number 10, Thomas.
Great job. Yeah, he almost did. I thought he was going to break it. Another newcomer to Indian Hill football this year, Joe Thomas. Done a great job. We've talked about him week in and week out, made some big catches for the Braves.
You know, he's a kid that stepped up. He came in here, he played for another program, but came in here and won a starting spot and does an outstanding job.
Another nice catch by Joe. Big first down there for the Braves. Let's see if we can't get this thing in there. We got 2:02 remaining in the first half.
Bo's going to loft that up.
Look out, look out. That's out of bounds.
Be caught, almost intercepted as that ball was just aired up there. Number 3 for
Wounded
Deer
Duck.
Park, Ethan Carey, was the closest player to get that ball, and was intended for number 4. Looked like Nick Kariakis, and Nick was not in a position to catch it, Greg. We were lucky on that play.
Yeah, good thing that ball was out of bounds. That hung up there a lot longer than Bo wanted it to.
1:56 to go here in the first half as the clock is stopped with that incomplete pass. And Bo Cordell now surveys the defense as he gets ready to take the ball on 2nd and 10. He's back to pass and passes out in the flat to Leonard Riston. And
Leonard's not able to hang on.
And I don't know if they're going to call that an incompleted pass. I did not hear the whistle, Greg. Leonard, who is a sophomore, did a smart thing. A lot of guys would tend to give up on the ball. Leonard went over and got the ball. He ran it out of bounds. We'll have to see what the refs are doing.
I think that was a lateral. That was not a forward pass. So Indian Hill's going to lose 15 yards on that or more. They're talking about it right now, but it looks like it's going back. It didn't appear to be a forward pass. It looked like we got a pretty good line on that. We're up in the booth at just about the 45-yard line, and it looked like the ball was going backwards, Dave, when he cut it loose.
Well, believe it or not, the offensive coordinator, Coach Walker, he disagrees with you.
Yeah.
He thought it was an incomplete pass, but...
Well, they haven't decided something yet. Wait a minute.
Now they're going to call it an incomplete
now
pass,
it's incomplete.
Greg,
all right.
That ball up. That's a big break for the Braves.
Well, if it's an incomplete pass, then the ball wouldn't be right there. It should be back up at the prior line of scrimmage.
Well, that's what Coach Seipel's telling the refs now is you can't call it an incomplete pass and penalizes 10 yards.
Yeah, the one ref, he's got it. He's wanting the ball up on the 30-yard line. You can see him. Yeah.
They'll get it right.
Here he goes. We got it. We got it. Well, the referee signaled incomplete pass, so then the line judge or the back judge, whichever controls the ball there, he's got to get it back up on the 30-yard line, and they have. Now they're over-explaining it to Coach Pettijohn on the Deer Park sideline.
You know, start to finish, you know how much that took? 6 minutes, 6 seconds.
6 seconds.
Yeah. Minute 50 to go. The clock stopped with that incomplete pass, and after about 3 minutes of trying to figure out what to do, and we're still trying to figure out what to do. And I don't know what Coach Pettijohn was saying over there, Greg. Didn't look like he agreed with the ref's call.
He didn't look happy. That could have gone either way. From our angle here, that was awfully close. But the Braves will take it as an incomplete pass. Big 3rd and 10. Somebody needs to get open. That's a wounded duck.
Oh.
That is a wounded duck.
And I'll tell you there, Greg, on that play, number 26, Leonard Griston, was open. Wasn't open for first down yardage, but was open and could have taken the ball out of bounds. Bo tried to hit number 4, Nick Kariakis, and the ball just didn't get there to him.
Yeah.
With the kind of zip that you'd want to have. And give Nick some credit. He went up and tried to make the play and almost came down with it.
Yeah. Those last 2 passes have not had the zip on them that we're used to seeing from Bo. Those things were hanging up there. There's really no wind to speak of. Looking at the trees and the flags, and pretty calm night, so it's not like we got a wind issue here. Well, big 4th down, big 4th and 10 for the Braves with a minute 43. And the Bo, well.
Nice job there by Bo not throwing the ball, Greg.
Yep,
not
maybe.
Causing a turnover. Brings the ball down. Deer Park's going to get the ball about the 30-yard line. Let's put the first half in the hands of the part of the team that's been the most successful. That's the defense.
Let the defense come out and wear this one down, maybe even pick up a turnover.
Yeah, we haven't
that
had
would be
a turnover
sweet,
in
wouldn't
about
it?
2 minutes.
Yeah,
so.
we will take that. Another interception, maybe.
Tyler
Fumble.
Beard figures a minute
He's got
35.
trips. Got trips right. or left. He's either spreading it or he's back to pass.
He figures a minute 35 is all he needs, and now Greg
Balls
with
on
a
it.
huge.
Indian Hill ought to call timeout.
I saw the Indian Hill coaches calling for a timeout. That's a good play there, as we might get the ball back with some time.
1:27. Yeah. That's kind of a surprising call there. The shotgun pass. He had the trips left, as we called it. Thought maybe he was just spreading the defense. Got to go back up the middle or something, right? But no.
He's been pretty darn good at tonight, is passing that football. And,
yeah.
I guess Coach Pettijohn figured that he'd like to be the guy. We were talking earlier about how you take the wind out of somebody's sail, how devastating that would be for the Braves to have a 14-0 lead and then go into halftime down. And perhaps the coach was thinking that if I could get this ball down that 70 yards and score, boy, that would be a big
turn it around. Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, he had enough time to go for it. So you're playing on the road and playing the undefeated Indian Hill Braves. You might as well go for it. Play aggressive.
You know, Greg, one thing that the Braves, I think, have gotten used to over the years, and I was going to ask you a question. I'll ask you on the next downtime here, as we see Tyler Beard back on a 2nd and 22 at about the 14-yard line. He's in the shotgun, and He's going to go back to pass, and he's looking out in the flat, and he's going to get brought down there. And
that could be a fumble. That should be a fumble.
That is, and it's
come on, ball! Come on, ball!
And Greg,
who's got it? Who's got it? Who's got it?
It's going to be at least a safety.
Safety, baby! Wow! He's living on the edge. We just talked about it. You live and die by the sword.
And Greg, that was a doomed play from the start.
Sure was.
Nothing was going right.
But our defense, I'll tell you, they wreak havoc. Deer Park sure helped with a little, sloppy ball handling. But man, our defense was all over it.
Well, Greg, I wanted to ask you this question as we
16 to 14.
As we get ready for that kickoff
2 points
following the safety. I want to ask you this question. I know you know the answer to it. Let's see how many of the fans at home on the Indian Hill Braves television network know the answer to this trivia question, and then you can answer it when we start the second half. Can you tell me the last time the Indian Hill Braves lost a game in regular season here in Tomahawk Stadium? Can you tell me that? We'll see.
I do know the answer to that.
We'll see what the answer is at the start of the second half now. As you see, following the safety, the Braves are up 16 to 14. There's 1 minute and 14 seconds left. Their punter, who's going to be Tyler Beard, is going to now kick the ball off. Greg, he's got an option of a free kick or a punt. More times than not in high school, they punt. Tyler's going to kick off a free kick. He's going to kick to 26 Leonard Riston, number 5 Matt Keller, and number 12 Danny Gill. And let's see if they can get a huge return.
He might just kick it out of bounds again, because I bet he knows all about Danny Gill in the middle. I would keep it away from Mr. Gill if I were Mr. Beard. And sure enough, he's done it again. I think somebody's told him, you better just kick it out of bounds. He's got Leonard Riston on that side. He's got Danny Gill in the middle, and Matt Keller out here on the right side. And those boys can run.
We'll have to see where they get the ball. It doesn't go back. Looks like it goes up to our 45-yard line. I'll take that.
Yeah, they're kicking from the 20, so they're starting, 20 yards back. You'd think on the penalty we ought to get it 20 yards further. I haven't seen this one before, Dave. All the high school football games I've seen and college games over the year, I don't think I've ever seen it where on the kickoff from the 20 after the safety, the ball goes out of bounds. See where they spot it. Doesn't look like the ref's quite sure either. Saying first down.
I can see Coach Seipel. I see Coach Seipel down there telling him that he's declining the penalty. He's kind of upset about it because I think he wants him to re-kick the ball.
With Danny Gill back there, I'd want it re-kicked, absolutely. Put it in the hands of number 12 whenever you can. But the ref is showing first down.
Well, it's going to be
Indian Hill ball. I don't think he's got any choice about declining it. I just think it's an automatic. It's high school. We get the ball on the 45. Not sure why that is, but there it is, folks. Ball's on the 45-yard line.
Got a buck 14 left in the first half. We've got 2 timeouts. We're on the 45-yard line. We've got a bunch of talented receivers. Let's do it, man. Turnover hurt.
Absolutely. You gotta put the foot on the throat and stomp. It's time to go for the end zone. They're still talking about it.
Well, I'll tell you, Greg, these refs tonight, they've really had to pull out the rule books.
They've had a couple of unusual
calls, and you can see the head referee over there now talking to one of the line referees, making sure that this is in fact the right call, because these guys are trying their best to call this game to the best of their ability,
no question
and they
about
realize how important this game is for both these two teams.
No question. They're over talking with Coach Pettyjohn of Deer Park again, trying to explain to him, and he seems to have a different view of it.
Yeah, I was just thinking,
you see him pointing and telling them what to do.
You and I are attorneys. We're advocates for our clients, and it's interesting to see the difference of opinion from coach to coach on the sideline. Coach Pettyjohn's trying to tell him, well, maybe the ball ought to be back a little bit farther, and Coach Seipel's trying to say,
move it up.
I'd have to be up a little higher there than it is.
We'll have to look this one up ourselves and see what rule they're following and why they spot the ball at the 45 on that out-of-bounds kick. So
1st and 10 for Bo Cordell and the Indian Hill Braves as the ball now is on the 45-yard line. He's back to pass, and he's not going to be able to get the ball off, and maybe Leonard Riston also held number 32 for Deer Park. Keith Reddish, as he was really putting some pressure on Bo, and we'll have to see what happened there, Greg.
Yeah, we need a blitz play here. You know, we get these blitzes week in and week out, and we need to read from that receiver and get rid of that ball so Bo doesn't get smacked by the oncoming rusher.
26, Leonard Riston, who I think was guilty of that hold, is going to come out. Number 39, John Whitehouse, another senior playing on senior night, is going to come in to see if he can.
And see, that's 10 yards from the spot of the foul, right. So that just cost us about 30 yards right there.
A huge play as a 1st and 10 turns into a first
going the wrong direction, but let's see. Just keep chipping away. Just keep chipping away.
And he's
look out.
Oh, I'll tell you what. There, number 22, Robbie Atkins, went up, almost caught the ball, but what he did was he tipped it, and that almost allowed Teddy Bolser, 33, who was behind him, to make a pretty good play.
Yeah, Bo took the zip off of that one again too. Kind of floated that thing out there.
Greg, before we
gives him time to get underneath it and intercept it.
Before we talked about what a chess match a game like this could be, if I was the coach, and of course it's easy for me to say I'm up here in the booth, I'd almost be tempted to run the ball out. We're going to get the ball in the second half. I think if I was Coach Seipel, all in all, I'd be happy going into halftime
with the 2 points up. Yeah, and here
exactly
we go.
What Bo's going to do there is he takes a knee, and
he's probably seen enough of this, Dave. So yeah, 48 seconds to go. Coach has said, yeah, I've seen enough. We've come perilously close the last couple series to throwing interceptions and turnovers and able to go the other way. Let's pack it in here, go to halftime, talk about it.
Wrap it up because it's getting close to halftime, so whatever you say to wrap it up for halftime would be great.
28 seconds remaining. The clock's counting down. It looks like Bo Cordell and the Braves will take a final knee, and that should end the first half.
And Greg, what we're going to do is we do have 2 seniors that are going to be out on the field for senior night to get honored. Is we're going to get out of here now as the Braves are going to go into halftime. Well,
delay call
on Bo, and that's going to.
Well, it doesn't really matter, I guess, but other than a stat. But he's got 12 seconds to go. He's going to have the ball centered and create a play. But yeah, Davis, you're saying we're going to leave the audience for the halftime. Normally like to give stats and do game review.
We'll get to Flagel some stats and give those to you. We'll answer that trivia question. I got another trivia question that I'm going to ask you.
Now the first half's coming to an end.
I know you know the answer to that, and we'll have to see if now Coach Pettyjohn says, hey, you know it's 4th down. I'm going to call a timeout. So 10.2 seconds on the clock. It's 4th and 37 for the Braves. They're up 16-14. It's
forces
senior
us to
night.
Punt.
It's homecoming. This is the biggest game of the year for both these 2 teams. And Coach Pettyjohn, he's not going to quit.
Yep, absolutely not. Good call. Forces Indian Hill to punt, and they're back just about to their goal line as the result of the penalties. 10 seconds remaining. Force them to punt. Things can go wrong. Erase the 14 for Deer Park on the scoreboard. 16-0 right now. Should be 16-14 if in fact our cameras are picking that up. But get that punt off, that away.
And I'll tell you, number 62 for Indian Hill, big lineman, Steve Crawl, comes down and does a great job of downing that ball. Smart thing for him to do. There's 0.8 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, 8/10 of a second it looks like, yeah.
So that's going to give Pettyjohn, I guess, or Tyler Beard, if he wants, an opportunity.
Take a shot at the end zone, absolutely.
The end zone, and Braves are going to have to play a little bit of prevent defense and see what they can do here.
Where's
that was a pretty good kick
big number 5?
You know, that was a pretty good kick by Kane Muir. We started 10.2 seconds. We got 0.8 on the clock. I don't know how long the play
The
took
slow
to get
hand,
the ball.
slow hand on the clock here, I think. But yeah,
He had some pretty decent hang time.
Mr. Pimp.
Wasn't the greatest punt in the world from a distance standpoint.
nope.
Big
But it hung
job
up for
from,
quite a while. Yeah,
running it out.
good hang
See
time.
what happens here is
Well, I'd look for big number 5 for Deer Park here. He's going out on the right side. Number 3 and number 5, the 2 favorite receivers for Tyler Beard, are out that way.
And that's
So,
who
and you
Tyler's
know
looking
that's
to.
which way the ball's going.
he's going to put the ball and I'll tell you what,
You've got to
Greg,
be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me.
a great pass by
You've got
number
to be kidding me.
12, Tyler Beard, and you got to give
Great
Owen,
job by
Owen,
Coach Pettyjohn. He deserves that touchdown right there.
I'll tell you, Owen Willis was over there and was in good coverage and did just about everything he could do. And you just got to tip your hat to Tyler Beard, who threw a great ball. And you got to tip your hat to that receiver over there that brought the ball in. And what a huge play for Deer Park to kind of steal a thunder from the crowd here in the first half and go up 21-16 on a big play.
Big play, huge play. 0.8 of a second left. It goes to show you it's never over until it's over. And now it is over.
Number 1, Ben Rascona kicks that extra point. Deer Park now suddenly finds himself in a position they have not been in all game. They're up by 5 points over the Braves. It's halftime. They're going into halftime winning 21 to
Yeah, look at these
16.
guys. These guys are out on the field congratulating each other like the game is over. You know, it's just like they just won the game. So
Well, I think one
look
thing
at the
that-
difference in the benches. So
Well, one thing Coach Seipel has to do is get that intensity back that we had to start the game, and we'll be okay in the second half. What we're going to do right now, though, fans, is we're going to take a break for halftime. We're going to go down and engage in a little bit of senior activities, and we'll see you for the start of the second half. All right, Greg, we're back for the second half of the exciting game between the Deer Park Wildcats and the Indian Hill Braves here at Tomahawk Stadium. Number 12, Tyler Beard, the talented quarterback who threw that stunning touchdown with 0.8 seconds left at the first half, is ready to kick off to number 26, Leonard Riston, number 12, Danny Gill, and number 5, Matt Keller. Danny Gill, number 12, takes the ball and makes his way up through the middle of the field and gets out to about the 34-yard line, and that's where Bo and the boys will start off. They're behind right now, 21-16.
amazingly so, but
And I'll tell you, we were talking right before the end of the half about what a difference plays can make, and that one play in 0.8 seconds has completely changed the complexity of
absolutely
this game.
40-yard pass with no time left on the clock. Of course, the extra point is kicked again with no time left on the clock. So a great lesson for football players everywhere, young and old, that it's never over until it's over. And Coach Pettyjohn deserves a world of credit to call that timeout right at the end and save those last few precious seconds. We got movement.
That's not the way.
Start.
That's not the way Coach.
Number 63.
That's not the way that Coach.
Braves that jumped.
Coach Seipel
Gonna
wants
cost
to
them
start
5 yards.
starts the second half there as number 63. That's Scott Porter over there on the right side. Makes a jump. That's a sophomore over there, and not the way we want to start, Greg, because now it's 1st and 15. And you know, one of the troubling things that you see here is you see number 48 and number 22 on the defense starting to encourage their crowd to get in the game. They're trying to take us out of it, and the Braves really got to step up here and do something to get control of this game back.
They really do. They need to. Nicky, don't run backwards. Come on, that away. Move that ball ahead.
Well, I'll tell you, that was almost disaster there as Bo Cordell throws out in the flat to number 4, Nick Kariakis. Nick catches the ball but puts it up in the air. It was almost a fumble. He was able to concentrate and get it back and got only a short gain there. It's going to be second down and about 9 now. I guess he picked up 6 yards with the penalty. But the Braves really got to pin their ears back and get back in this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's a nice first down pickup when you're 1st and 15. Good job by Nick. Good coverage by Deer Park too. They're letting him catch that ball, but they're doing a good job of keeping the run after catch down.
And boy, I'll tell you.
Thank you very much.
Nice
Just off the hands of number 6 for Deer Park. Falls right into the hands of Nick Kiriakis. That's fortuitous.
Ben Rascona is their talented defensive back that was over there. He's a short player, and what he did was tip it up and give Nicky credit. He concentrated and brought the ball down. Got a short gain there of about 3 yards, and now the Braves are looking at a third and calling about five for a first down.
3rd and 5. Ball's about the 38-yard line. Braves 38. Big third down here. Let's go, Braves.
Goes back in the shotgun.
I'm not sure this is 2-down territory here.
He's looking to pass, and he finds
That's dangerous.
Number
That's
9.
Dangerous.
Michael Gahn over there, but Bo overthrows him, and Mike does his best attempt to catch the ball. And Greg, we're going to have to punt here to start the first half, and that's not what Coach Seipel wanted to do. That's not how he wanted to respond to the end of the first half and that score by Deer Park.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. Looks like Bo is really fixed on those outside receivers. I don't know if everybody's doing curls and going side or what, but he really doesn't seem to be seeing the middle of the field right now.
A high snap and just an awesome job by number 43, Kane Muir.
What a great
to
punt.
bring the ball down, but then
Punt.
2 to punt that ball. Punted it over both of the receivers, and our Braves really hustled down there and were able to down the ball there, Greg, on about the 8-yard line. What a huge play there by Kane.
We talked in the first half about playing the field position game, and the Braves haven't really tried to do that, or at least haven't been successful with it yet, but there's a great example right there. Let them start down deep in their own end zone where they got to run the ball. So,
Greg, I'd like to take this opportunity while we have a moment to thank the talented Indian Hill Television Network crew who's working this game from a technical standpoint tonight. They're really responsible for everything you're seeing and hearing out here in this exciting game. And Tyler Beard now is going to take the ball and try to hand off.
Might lose that ball that way.
I wasn't sure there, Greg, whether that was a handoff or what. It looked like Tyler got caught up
fighting over it,
in the receivers or the running back's arms, and that play went for about another 4-yard loss. And you know, Greg, one of the stats
flag down, Dave.
And one of the stats that I want to talk to you about is that flag goes against the Braves. It looks like it might be.
Well, it's definitely going against the Braves. It looks like it's.
Looks like it was an encroachment call there, Greg, perhaps as somebody was lined up in the neutral zone. But one of the interesting stats from the first half is you look up on the scoreboard, you see 21 points scored by Deer Park. And tell the folks at home how many rushing yards they got in the first half.
-31.
Boy.
-31 rushing yards and a 21-16 lead. So
Tyler Beard is back.
Largely responsible.
He's got a man wide open across the middle, number 3. And I'll tell you what, he's got 1 man to beat. 2 men to beat as Matt Keller tracks him down over there on the sideline as number 3, Ethan Carey. And I got to tell you, Greg, he was wide open as he came to the middle of the field. And give Tyler Beard credit, he stepped up and put the ball right in Carey's breadbasket. He was able to bring that ball
a career game
down to about
at
the
this point.
line.
He's just playing a fantastic game, and Indian Hill's pass defense is just about non-existent at this point. 150 yards passing for Deer Park in the first half. They had negative passing yardage in the first quarter, so they picked up that 150, about 40-some of it in the last play of the half.
They were on
They've really come back, and again, no pass defense to speak of by the Braves.
Greg, they were on the 8-yard line. They moved the ball on that one play down to the 13-yard line of the Braves, 14-yard line. There's a pickup there by the running back of about 2 yards for a second down and 8 yards to go. And boy, I'll tell you, the Braves defense really needs a stop. They need a turnover. They need something to put a spark back into the Braves.
Yep. Well, they were able to do it in the first half, at least until the last play of the first half. So let's see what they can do here, Dave.
Tyler Beard now under center.
Second down.
There's some movement there on the front line of the Wildcats, not called as a procedure call, and another running attempt up to the left side of the field, and K-Mac number 30, or number 37, Ross Lockwood rather, and number 57, Chase
Daniels in there.
Will have none of it as they bring the running back down for no gain. It'll be 3rd down and about 8 yards to go. And I got to tell you, Greg, obviously I don't have the pedigree that Coach Pettyjohn does have, but I don't know why he doesn't throw on every play.
He sure should, because the Braves haven't figured out how to stop it yet. And here we go.
Back to throw, and his receiver goes in for a touchdown, does
That's
number
the way
32.
to do it. That's the way to do it.
Keith Radish. Radish does a great job of tipping the ball up. That ball got over to him in a hurry. He tipped it up, kept running, caught it, kept his eyes on it, and puts the Braves down in a big hole now, Greg. Territory they've never found themselves in during this 2006 season. They're down by 20. They're down 28 or 27 to 16, and if the extra point is good, it'll be 28 to 16.
Yeah, this is new territory for the Braves, and just tack on a little more passing yardage. There's about 90 yards of passing in that drive right there for Deer Park and Mr. Beard. He's definitely going to have a career night. He isn't showing up too much in the city stats for passing, but he will here shortly.
And now we got some kind of penalty. Looks like it's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the Deer Park Wildcats, as perhaps they got a little bit more excited than the refs thought they should have following that score, or they said something they shouldn't have, and that's going to turn a very makeable extra point into something that number 6, the kicker Ben Rascona, is now going to have to work hard for, Greg, as it turns into about a 30-yard field goal, 35-yard field goal.
Going to place it down on the 25-yard line.
We'll have to
It's going to be a heck of a kick at this point. We'll see what kind of a field goal kicker he is, because it's not an extra point anymore.
He gets it up.
Looks like he's hooked it, though.
And it's no good.
Yeah, he hooked it. He had enough leg, but he hooked it. So
Greg,
good try there.
They're up by 11 points. Let's hope that 1 point missed extra point comes back to burn them in the butt as the Braves get the ball back and hopefully are able to march down the field and score.
Yep, the Braves are going to have to pick it up here, Dave. The team in the white and the red is playing with all of the emotion at this point, and just flat out handed it to the Braves, at least with regard to passing. I still think they have negative rushing yardage.
Greg, I asked you in the first half, I asked you if you knew the answer to this question. When was the last time the Indian Hill Braves have lost a regular season game? And I think you told me you knew the answer to that. Could you tell the folks at home?
I do know the answer to that. That happened in September of 2004, actually September 17, 2004, at Finneytown. I was there and saw that game. That was the last regular season loss for the Braves. They went on and rattled off, I think, about 6 in a row after that to end the 2004 season. We're undefeated last year, and of course undefeated so far this year at 7-0. So great regular season run by the Braves, but it's in jeopardy at this point. Gonna have to see what the Braves are made of, see what they can do.
Number 12, Danny Gill, drops the ball, picks it up, moves up the field, and gets through a whole host of Wildcat blockers or tacklers, and takes the ball up to good field position on about the 39-yard line. And we'll have to see what happens there, Greg, now as Bo Cordell gets the ball for the second time this half. Bo's really going to have to step up now and make some good passes and get this offense churning.
Yeah, pressure is on the defense, and sophomore quarterback Bo Cordell, if I'm Coach Pettyjohn, I'm going to be blitzing him probably on every passing down at this point. Put the pressure on the young quarterback. Let's see what happens.
Bo's under center now, and he's going to pitch to the right side or left side, and John Vaughn is able to get through and pick up a big gain there.
That away. Flag comes flying in too. That's probably a face mask.
That's what I'm thinking it was. A face mask. It's really no Indian Hill receiver or any Indian Hill player in the area. And then, in fact, you're right. He's going to tack on some more yards. And Greg, I think you remember in the first half of this game, one of the things that kind of turned things for the Wildcats was the pass that Tyler Beard made to one of his big receivers. They got a first down, and then there was a personal foul at the end. They picked up 50 more yards, and that gave them the extra incentive to go bring the ball down and score. Let's hope that same kind of luck now goes to the Braves.
See if the Braves can take a page out of that book. Yeah, that must have been an unintentional face mask with like a 5-yard walk-off by the ref. So that's 1st and 10 Braves. Inside handoff again to, that's Kevin McFarland, number 34, snuck in there. We didn't see Kevin come in. That's what we like to see. That's what we were kind of hoping Coach Seipel was going to be calling in the first half, because we think up here in the booth that Indian Hill's got the ability to push that Deer Park defense down the field, or defensive line down the field. Just take it straight at them. Let's go north-south and see how we do.
Kevin McFarland.
2 great examples right there.
Kevin McFarland picked up a first down on that play, Greg, as he ran for about 11 yards and puts the Braves down on about the 33-yard line. We'll try it again, this time to John Vaughn, and he is hit at the line,
up the middle. That's
is
right.
able to squeeze through that line, and he picks up about 7 yards. It's going to be second down and about 3 for the Braves, as they are now starting to find the ground game that kind of left them in the first half.
Yeah, well, this is our kind of ground game. You know, we're not running option sweeps and flips and things like that. That has not been the Indian Hill offense this year, and I think he got them out of what they're used to doing. And we had bad results. So
John Vaughn finds another seam.
Sneaking right in behind there, that away.
Gets down to about the
We'll take 7 yards. We'll take 6 or 7 every time.
Another first down there, Greg, is now the ball's down on the 14-yard line, and Braves are now knocking on the door. It'd be nice to see them get into the end zone and score and close the gap on this 11-point lead.
Yeah, let's see us, excuse me, Dave. Let's see us do it with the running game here. Nothing wrong with that. Got to be able to run the football.
You got K-Mac 34 and John Vaughn, number 3 in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff to John Vaughn, and this time he is met hard on a good tackle there by number 31 for Deer Park, Shane McGowan, and he comes through and really puts a paste in there on John Vaughn. John Vaughn does get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, nobody picked up 31 that time, even just chip him a little bit. He was able to come entirely free. Kevin McFarland picked up a man out on the corner, but 31, I think he's their middle linebacker. He was untouched and just had a straight shot at him. So
5:50 on the clock, and it's a
Here
handoff
we
to
go.
John
Come
Vaughn.
on, John, that away.
I'll tell you what, he does a great job of running over to the left side of the field and picks up. They're going to give him about 4 yards, as they say he's just short of the 10-yard line. It'll be third down and about, I'd say, 6 to go now, Greg. And now Coach Seipel's got to think about perhaps allowing Bo to look for a pass, maybe one of those little dink passes to Nick Kariakis.
This might be a good time right here. I'm looking for number 33. I want to find Big Ted Bolser in the end zone there somewhere.
He split out wide on the right, and Leonard Wriston goes to the right.
Inside handoff, there's just nothing there.
K-Mac, and I'll tell you, K-Mac will not go down and is able to get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe get just a little bit more, but now it's going to be a big fourth down and 6, and we'll have to see what Bo could do.
Yep, fourth down territory, you're going for it here. I thought you were right there, Dave. I thought that was a good passing down. Maybe Coach Seipel thought he'd cross him up a little bit or surprise him. Not pass on third down, but yeah, you got 11 yards.
This is definitely
first, so
this is definitely passing, and
threw it in the ground.
Bo
had him open and he threw in the ground.
Did have K-Mac open over there on the right flat, and was unable to hit him as he threw it in the ground. And now the defense will have to come out. And I'll tell you, Greg, there's 4 minutes and 29 seconds left in the third quarter. When the Braves are running the ball, they had a pretty good drive going there. Burned some time off the clock. The clock now starts to become the ally of Deer Park. We're not to the point yet where there's a big worry, but the Braves have to do something to get successful.
Yeah, they really needed to punch that in there and get this to a 27-23 game. But still plenty of time to go. They're down by 2 scores, which is very possible, but we haven't figured out how to stop Deer Park's passing game yet.
Tyler Beard fakes a handoff to the receiver, and you know, Greg, when Deer Park had the ball, when Deer Park had the ball in the last series, one of the plays that Tyler Beard tried to run when they were in the shadow of their own goal line was I think a fake up the gut, and he actually got his arm stuck in his running back's body and was carried with the running back. That, I think, is what the play was supposed to look like.
That was the design of that other play. Yeah.
That's a pretty good play, a play fake up the gut and let Tyler run to the left and or to the right, and he picked up some big yards.
Yeah.
Second
big gain there, got them out of the shadow of their own goal and moved the ball up.
First down, and they try to run up the gut, and they get the ball maybe up to the 25-yard line for about a 2-yard gain. And
about 2.5, 3 on that. See the referee spot.
Looked like number 50, Stevie Forbes, and a couple other Braves were there to stop it, to stuff it, and hopefully the Braves can pick up their intensity here, Greg, and put some pressure on Tyler as he tries to throw the ball to make him have the same kind of problems Bo's been having.
Yeah, Deer Park may just be happy to run the ball here a little bit. It's like a timeout. The referee's timeout.
Well, Greg, while we have this timeout, I'm going to tell you another interesting fact, and I'm going to ask you another question, and maybe you can answer it in the fourth quarter. You know, Deer Park has not beaten Indian Hill this century. Can you tell me the last time that Deer Park beat Indian Hill?
I know it was before 2000. I do know the last year for that.
All right, well, I'm going to ask you in the fourth quarter.
I do know that.
And I hope that streak stays alive here.
Yeah, we're working on that streak right now. We don't want it to die in 2006.
2nd and 7, and Tyler's back to
wide
pass
open in the middle.
He's got number 25 who picks it off there.
There's Owen Willis.
Owen Willis comes back.
Owen. Little redemption for Owen after that touchdown at the end of the first half.
A nice play there by that young man.
Playing the ball, absolutely.
He gave up his body, and I'll tell you that was a huge play, and hopefully that's a tempo changer, the kind of thing the Braves need to now get on track and get the ball in the end zone.
Absolutely. Another big turnover by this defense. They keep giving the ball back to the offense. We need some points offense to get that ball in there.
Greg,
it's gut tech time, Dave. No more down to the 7 and stalling. We need to get that ball in the end zone once we get in the red zone. The Braves have been good about red zone scores so far this year, but not tonight.
Deer Park had 4 fumbles in the first half and 2 interceptions in the first half. Indian Hill had 2 fumbles in the first half and no interceptions on Bo's part. We are winning in the turnover game, and you'd think
just barely.
More times than not, when you're ahead in the turnover game, you're going to win the game.
You're winning the game,
but
yeah.
and more times than not, when you have negative rushing yardage, you're going to win the game. And for some reason, this Friday the 13th has turned out to be kind of a lucky night for Deer Park.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure Coach Pettijohn and his staff have been watching the film and noticed that the Achilles heel of this Braves defense is the pass defense. That nobody has been able to run on them all year, and most of the teams have been held to very, very little yardage, negative yardage in some cases. We've had games here in the booth where we've marveled over the stats with the lack of rushing yards by the opposing team, but unfortunately the passing yardage has been more than enough to either keep them in a game or in this case keep them ahead. So
Greg, there's
27-16 lead.
The reason for the timeout, we're having trouble seeing it. We do not have a monitor up here in the booth, but there was an injured player. It looks like he now was able to get up and go off the field, and play is going to start now. The Braves have the ball on about the 42-yard line on their side of the field, and Bo Cordell's going to have the 2 I-backs, Kevin McFarland and John Von Dalen, and John Von, number 3, is going to get the ball, try to go to the right side of the field, maybe pick up a yard or 2 there. It'll be 2nd down and 8, Greg.
Yeah, short gain by John Von there. They looked like they were kind of waiting for that one. Not much of a push on the offensive line. Not much room for him to maneuver there.
2:40 and counting on the game clock, Greg, as the third quarter is almost history. I'd like to see the Braves get some kind of score in this quarter so that the point differential is not as great. Leonard Riston, number 26, is going to get the ball, and going to be a hold there on the left side of the Braves offensive line, Greg, and that's going to turn a great play by Leonard into another devastating kind of setback for the Braves. As instead of having 1st and 10 on Deer Park's 45, we're going to have 2nd and forever on about our 32-yard line.
Yeah, 10 yards from the point of the foul. Looks like the holding was right about at the line of scrimmage, so illegal block in the back is what he ended up calling. So
either way, it's 10 yards,
it's
Greg.
Mark it off.
It hurts either way.
Yep. Umpire rather decidedly throws the ball down there. Here's where it goes, boys. 32-yard line.
Bo Cordell.
Second and 20, Dave.
Bo Cordell
maybe.
Bo Cordell and his Indian Hill Braves have a 2nd and 20 as 26 Leonard Riston goes in motion. And Bo is able to get the ball out to John Vaughn over there on the right side of the field, and he picks up about 9 yards on that play. It'll be 3rd and 11. That was a good play by Bo, Greg, because he didn't try to take everything. He took what the defense gave him, and that was 9 yards.
Yeah, good job of taking what was available. The coverage was good downfield, double coverage almost on Teddy Bolser. So good job of finding John Von Deelen and picking up the yardage. So
1:59 to go in the 3rd quarter of this exciting game, and the Indian Hill Braves are on the minus side of a 27-16 point score. There's a pass over the middle, and nice catch
that away.
by
Great
Mike
job
Gahn,
by Mikey
who
Gahn, that away.
pays the price with a big hit there by the defensive back number 82 for
Good job, Michael.
Deer Park. That's
Good job,
James
Bo
Collins,
Cordell.
but I'll tell
Nice
you
job
what.
of getting that ball in between the layers of the coverage over the linebacker and just short of the corner coming or the safety coming over. So
That's
good job by Bo.
That's the Bo Cordell when we talk about the talent that the kid has. That's the vision of things to come. When Bo is on the mark, he is a very, very good quarterback. And on that play, threw a very good pass and hit Mike Gahn where only Mike Gahn could catch it. Ball out, and nice play out there by number 4, Nick Kariakis. Once again, one of those little dink plays, Greg, and Nick's really stepped up tonight. You know, you used the name Ted Bolser just a little while ago. We have really not heard his name a lot.
We haven't seen much going
to
Ted so far.
You've got to tip your hat to Deer Park. They recognize Ted as the leader on our team in receptions. They've really taken him out of the game. But also tip your hat to Nick and to Michael Gahn. They've stepped up and kind of filled or taken up the slack for.
Yeah, they definitely have. Come on, Braves. The ball's not quite in the red zone yet, but let's get this ball in the end zone.
Number 3, John Von
Burst
Deelen.
of speed there by John. Good job.
Brings the ball up to about the 20-yard line, picks up about 4 yards there, Greg. We'll take that, 2nd and 6.
Yeah, we'll take that. He had some blockers out front, but good job by Deer Park to smell that out and bring their linebackers over and get just enough coverage to hold John Vaughn to 4 yards.
1 minute is all that's left in the 3rd quarter of tonight's exciting game, and Bo Cordell now under center and going to go back to pass, and he hits number 33, Teddy Bolser, square the numbers again, and Teddy's not able to hang on, and pretty good pass there by Bo. It was a slant pass.
Very nice
to
pass.
Teddy, and Teddy was wide open. Bo threaded the needle, put the ball where it needed to be, and Ted was just not able to hang on to it.
Yep, that looked like the pass in the 1st quarter there, but getting to be crunch time. We need to hold on to those now, Dave.
Greg, a big third
at a time.
A big 3rd and 6 here for the Braves, and this is an important, I would say, or a huge drive for the Braves.
This is 2-down territory, so you need to get most or all of it at this point. Oh, Michael Gahn was open there for a second.
And Leonard Riston catches the ball and gets a first down, gets out of bounds. He's down at about the 10-yard line.
Get the first day.
39.8 seconds.
First down, yeah. Good call.
Is left in the 3rd quarter, and Bo's got him rolling now, Greg.
Yeah, good job there. Good job by Leonard. I like it when he puts the ball in Leonard's hands. Good things seem to happen when Leonard's touching a football. Got a good football instinct about him. Good knack for the game, for the goal line. Here we go, John Vaughn up the middle. Not much. Not much, Dave. Is the Third quarter is winding down. We got about 24 seconds to go. We'll see if the Braves get another playoff here. We might be headed down to the other end of the field.
Greg, you know, you really have to tip your hat to Coach Pettyjohn and to these Deer Park Wildcats. You know, they haven't had a winning season since 1999, haven't been in the playoffs since 1981, and really they are playing great football. You know, last year we beat them pretty handily over at their place, and I think the year before last we handled them pretty well also. And these kids, the seniors on this team, really are driven. They decided early on, I read an article where they just decided they're going to commit themselves totally to football, and they've just done an outstanding job this season. You got to tip your hats to them.
Yeah, they really have a heck of a difference between these fellas here tonight as seniors than what we saw when they were freshmen and at the JV level. So a lot of improvement in the Deer Park program. The Deer Park parents, I'm sure, are very proud of their kids, and Coach Pettyjohn has got to be proud as well. They've done a good job of turning their program around. On the other hand, over here in the Indian Hill side, the Braves fans have been used to undefeated seasons, and no one looks too comfortable right now with this position we're in, being down by 11 going into the fourth quarter. That's new ground for us. That didn't happen last year.
Well, I remember that game. I remember that game last year. Roger Bacon that was right here that you and I did the play-by-play for. We were down by about 21 points and came back and a thrilling upset victory over them. And let's hope that a little bit of that magic
that was some
return.
Michael Scherpenberg magic that night. He was just on fire that night. That might be one of the finest games we ever saw Michael Scherpenberg play that night against Roger Bacon. So we shall see. We need a little of that magic right here. So
2nd and 7
Bo is the guy.
2nd and 7 for Bo Cordell and the Indian Hill Braves as he's going to hand off to Leonard Riston on the right-hand side, and Leonard's got one man to beat, and number 6 there, Ben Rascona, stayed home and was able to bring Leonard down for a loss, dropped him back to about the 10-yard line, the original line of scrimmage for the Braves, and now it's going to be about a 3rd and 10, Greg.
Yep. Trying to go wide, and Deer Park did a good job of stringing that out. Just strung it out and used the sideline as their 12th defensive man, and that was the end of that. So we'll tee it up and do it again here. Big 3rd down.
Bo's back. He's looking in the end zone, and nice job there by Michael.
Senior leadership again. We've got to love it. Michael.
Greg, what an awesome job. Michael
What a catch.
Once again,
nice catch.
Michael Gunn gave up his body, Greg, stretched out, caught the ball, got a big hit, was able to turn and then bring the ball into the end zone. And what an outstanding job and a big play from Michael Gunn. Makes the score Deer Park 27, Indian Hill 22.
Great play by Michael Gunn. Just as you said, Dave, stretching out, giving up his body. Great concentration on the football, looks it into his hands, pulls it in, and then has the presence of mind to stretch it out just in case, make sure he's over the goal line.
Braves are going to go for 2, as right now they're down by 5. A 2-point conversion will bring this down to a field goal, and let's hope the Braves can be successful here as Bo's back, and he's got a big play there to number 17, Kramer Hendricks.
He's out of bounds.
I'll tell you, a little bit of pushing over there on the defensive side of the ball, not called, and looked like to me that Kramer was going to catch that ball, and unfortunately was out of bounds, ran out of real estate over there and unable to bring it in.
Yeah, Bo put just a little too much mustard on that one, I think, just a little too high. Forced Kramer out of bounds to make the catch, but he made a nice catch, just out of bounds. So good idea by Coach to go for the 2, try and make it a 3-point game. It's 5. You're no worse off at this point for not making it. So defense is going to have to do its thing. 11-14 remaining in the game.
Plenty of time, Greg.
Plenty of time. Defense, though, is going to have to shut this explosive passing game down and keep Mr. Beard and his receivers in check, which they have had some difficulty in doing so far.
You know, ironically, Greg, with that touchdown and bringing the game back as close as it is, it might mean that Tyler Beard's going to go back to that passing game. You know,
I got a feeling.
Coach Pettyjohn was trying to run the ball and run the clock down, and you don't believe now that he's going to try to do that. And I'll tell you what, that boy on the Deer Park side of the ball, number 23. TJ Stratton, I don't think he thought he was going to get the ball, and I thought he
wasn't quite ready for that.
He maybe saw 2 or 3 big Braves coming at him and realized that the smart thing to do was to get down on the ground and turn that ball over to his offense.
He didn't like that squib kick coming from Michael Schmidt, I guess. Not bad, 33-yard line.
11-12 to go
Braves
in the
defense.
4th quarter. And Tyler Beard under center with one back in the backfield. He's got receivers split on both sides, and he sends number 6 into motion, and they try to run it up the gut.
That ain't working.
Every senior lineman and linebacker there, 55 San Moore, 57 Chase Daniels, 74 Joe Wardeman, 34 Kevin McFarland are all there, along with
everybody.
Zach
37
Friedman. He's a junior, so he
Zach
got
Friedman
a little bit.
Has just been doing a great job. Yeah, he's really come on. He's helped the team considerably. When Steve Forbes went down earlier in the year, Zach has come in and really stepped it up, and the defense has hardly missed a beat.
Greg Michael Gahn, by scoring that touchdown, is able to get this crowd back into the game, and they're yelling for their defense. And Tyler
Good
Beard
pressure that time by the Braves.
Feels something that he hasn't felt in a while, and that's pressure by the Braves defense, and causes him to throw the ball at the feet of his intended receiver, and puts the Wildcats back in a hole at 3rd down and about 12 yards to go.
Joey Werdeman in on that one. Also 37 Ross Lockwood chasing down Tyler Beard. Good job there. Talked to some of the players on the field at halftime about getting pressure on Beard, and they felt like they hadn't gotten enough pressure on him in the first half. So
here we
let's
go.
see if this is a sign of good things to come. Here's that
Back,
pressure again, but it's a screen up the middle.
And it's going to be short. And Greg, I don't know if you're Coach Pettyjohn here. The ball's on the Wildcat side of the ball. They're about a yard short of the first down. It's going to be 4th down, and I would kind of think, and yes, you do see the punting team coming out.
You got the lead, Dave. You got a 5-point lead. I'd play field position. See if you can stick the Braves back down in the other corner of the field, make them go 85, 90 yards to score.
Look at Sammy Moore
hustling off of the field there.
Busted off the field as
it's be a good spot for a fake too.
Well, we'll have to see. It's 4th and 1 now, and
Braves look ready for that though. Mr. Beard steps from the quarterback roll to the punting roll.
And he gets a nice little pooch kick there, and Leonard's going to have to let it roll out of bounds. It goes out about the 18-yard line. Pretty good kick there.
I don't think we've run a kick or a punt back tonight, have we? They've kicked everything out of bounds. So good coaching by Deer Park. They've been telling his boys, get that thing out of bounds. We don't want to let Danny Gill or Leonard Kristen run one back on us, because they've been running them back all year long.
Greg, Braves have the ball back once again, and let's hope their success on the last drive carries over to this drive, and they're able to march down the field and score again.
We need that power offense back in there. We need to push this Deer Park defense around a little bit, push them down the field.
Bo Cordell hands off to John Vaughn up the middle, and
nice little nifty move there by John Vaughn, showing a little razzle dazzle in the middle there.
Picks up about
6, 7.
About 6 there, Greg. It'll be 2nd down and 4, and we'll take that all night.
Absolutely, we'll take 6 yards on 1st down. Good job by John Vaughn there.
Number 9, Mike Gahn.
Got that all on his own.
The talented senior comes in to play one of the slot receivers, as there's receivers on both sides of Bo, and he'll give it to John Vaughn again, and
up the middle he
John
goes.
Vaughn
puts that head down.
Speed and gets very close to the 1st down there. Greg, looks like he's got it by about a foot. In fact, the refs signal that he does have it.
Absolutely, move those chains. Love to see that 1st down signal. John Vaughn doesn't go backwards either, does he, Dave? When he goes down, it's another 2 yards on the way down. He never ever is going backwards when he's tackled. He's always falling forward, using that long, lean frame, pick up that extra yard or 2 each time.
Bo's going to go back to pass this time and gets the ball out over the
Look
flat
out.
end. Man,
Look out.
threw it into traffic there and almost
Lot
picked
of white
off by
shirts.
number 32 for Deer Park, Keith Reddish. And we've called his name a lot tonight.
Several
He's a
times.
pretty
Keith's
good
been
little
having a-
athlete there,
he's-
Greg.
That's right, Dave. Keith has been having a good game. He's been all over the field. Just about had that one intercepted. So break for the Braves and Bo Cordell throwing that ball into a lot of white shirts there.
8:28 to go in the game as we're in the fourth quarter, and the Braves are down 27-22. They're on about the 30-yard line. Bo back to pass. He's going to do a little dump to
Nicky Kiriakis.
Nicky
Come on,
Kiriakis,
Nick.
who
Come on, Nick.
goes
No,
on
don't
some
run
speed
backwards.
and
Yeah.
he makes kind of a mistake, Greg, as he tries to do a little bit more than he really needed to. Should have taken what they gave him. Would have had 2 or 3 more yards, but that being said, he's still going to pick up a couple of yards to be third and 6.
Yeah, he may have been close to the first down. I think he gave up 4 yards there, and he's about 6 short, but 3rd and 5. We'll call it. This may be a critical 3rd down here. Let's see what Coach Seipel has in mind. So Teddy Bolser out here, split right for the defense, or on the offensive side. Bo's looking all that way. Nah, that ball got away from him, or he got hit when he threw it.
4th down.
That's disappointing.
4th down, and now the Braves are going to have to punt, Greg, and hope that they can get the ball back again, or that the defense can somehow cause a turnover and get the ball back.
Yeah, that ball seemed to sail on him and didn't have much zip on it anyway, and over the head of Nick Kiriakis, not much he could do there.
Kane,
look out, look out.
Another tough punt here, and Kane's does a really good job of getting the kick off, and I'll tell you what.
Holy cow.
It's a nice little
There's
bounce.
There's a great play.
That's a super play by Kane Muir. Look at the fans are showing their appreciation for him. He got a very, very bad bounce and was able to maintain his composure. And you know, Deer Park's been getting the ball between the 30 and the 40 all night, so he really
put it right
did
back.
a great thing for him.
39-yard line. Great punt. Great bit of athleticism there. And also cool. Cool under that pressure. Take your time, pick it up, get yourself free, and punt it. That's exactly what he did.
All right, Tyler Beard now under center on the 39-yard line where he's got the ball 1st and 10. He sends number 6 in motion, and they run outside, and this time
tackle out there.
Number 30,
missed tackles.
Shane Englert is able to pick up some big
longest
yardage.
Running play of the night right there.
That's about 9 yards there,
9
Greg.
yards on that one.
A good job by Shane, as he's a big kid and really showed not only power but a little bit of speed as he got in the open field.
Give him long 1 there. 2nd and 1.
And Greg, you know, on 2nd and 1, it's a position where a quarterback, if he wanted to, could go back and throw. And let's see what they're going to do here. They're just going to try to get that 1st down, and the ball's on the ground and picked up by the running back. I think it was Englert who had the ball, and he dropped it, and it bounced right back up in his breadbasket. But
actually
he
lost about a half a yard, maybe a whole yard on that.
He lost some yardage. I think he lost 2 yards. It's going to be 3rd down and 3.
Say, I got to hand it to our defense. They are just exploding into that backfield. They are just, they're getting back there about as Beard's getting ready to hand the ball off. I mean, that's just great quickness and explosion by our defensive line, beating their man and getting in there and disrupting that play. He's just about to get tackled by the time he's handing it off. So
Braves fans are fired up
here.
They're looking.
There we go. That away.
Boy, I'll tell you what.
Defense. Look at that. 57, 74, and 37.
You know, old Tyler.
Those numbers a lot.
Old Tyler Beard could feel 57, 37, and the other number that you mentioned breathing down his neck, and man, it was all he could do to get rid of that ball and had to throw it away. And pretty good play by him, but a great play by the Braves because they're probably going to get the ball back on the punt.
That was a quick 3 and out there for Deer Park. That's what we like to see.
Okay.
Now, I doubt Mr. Beard's going to kick it to.
I was just going to ask you, which sideline is he going to kick it to?
I think he'll kick it right to where he kicked it the last time, which is going to be on the far sideline, out of bounds. Look, he's even angled that way. Look, that's pretty obvious. Well, no, that one actually stayed in. So, come on, Leonard, see what you can do, man. All right.
Well, that was a dangerous play, as there was a Deer Park Wildcat back there. It looked like he might have been hit at least on the side, not in the back, and it was not called, and Leonard was able to get the ball up to the 25-yard line. The Indian Hill marching band, the best darn band in the land now, is playing some music, trying to get the Braves offensive unit fired up as they're going to start this drive on the 25-yard line, Greg. And
pretty decent field position for the Braves. It's time to take it the length of the field.
5:45 is all that's left.
This could be the last drive, depending.
Here go the Braves now as Bo Cordell takes the ball, gives it to John Vaughn, and John Vaughn picks up.
They're waiting for that.
About 1 yard there. It'll be 2nd down and 9 as he makes his way, moseys up to about the 26-yard line. And Greg, one thing while the Braves are making their next call, let me just tell you about our talented IHTN crew tonight. Our producer is Paul Cassidy. Our director is Paul Cassidy. Graphics is Calvin August. Audio, Paul Cassidy. He does it all. Cameras, Matthew Schwartz, Brad McKee. Bo Cordell is looking down the field. He's got Nicky. Oh, man, Nicky was pushed there.
He dropped it. The ball hit the ground. I saw the ball hit the ground. That's a good call, ref.
Jim Gia, Cody McLean, Robert Hinn, Alex Vigran are the guys on the camera that are getting these great shots that you're seeing at home. Our coordinating producer is our buddy, Mr. Denny Dubs, who does a great job with these kids, really lets them control the action, Greg, and show their talents.
Mr. Dubs does a great job. Great job, and he hires us every week, so we know he's a smart man.
Well, that might be his one downside, but we don't want him to know about that.
Yeah, hopefully he's not listening.
We sure have fun up here.
Mr. Dubs has done a great job. He's been a fixture at Indian Hill High School for many, many years. I was fortunate enough to have him back in the 70s when I attended school here, so he's a great asset to the school. Mikey,
look at that lead over that shoulder.
You gotta love it.
I gotta tell you,
is having a career night tonight, senior night. That's a senior for you.
Boy, I'll tell you what, a great catch by that kid. And, you know, once again, we said this earlier, but he is just a nice kid.
He is the nicest kid. He's a good friend of my son Michael's, and he has spent a lot of time at our house over the years, and he's just a fine young man. Great set of parents. Matt and Linda gone. They've just done a great job. I know they're real proud of Michael.
4:45 and counting for the Braves here as hopefully they're on the move. The ball's on the 45-yard line. Number 39, John Whitehouse, goes in motion. It's a fake and a draw up the middle, and a great job there by John Vaughn, who picks up about 8 yards there, Greg, and gets the ball into Deer Park territory now as we get it down to about the 47-yard line. A pretty good play by Bo.
Yeah, good job. I like that little fake, and then it creates a delay for that up-the-gut draw play.
Braves,
good job by John Vaughn. Pick up 7 on first down.
Braves not playing hurry up, but playing accelerated, and John Vaughn will take the ball again. And boy, Greg,
first down.
You're right. When he got hit on about the 50-yard, 45-yard line, he could have went down right then and there, but got 2 more yards out of it as he put his head down and just pushed.
Still goes forward every time. All the great running backs have that knack about him. That's something that I've noticed with John Von Dielen, that he never is going backwards. You might tackle him, but he's still going to get the last lick. He still gets those last couple of yards out of you each time. So here we go, 1st and 10 Braves.
You know, Greg,
one 44-yard line.
One play we haven't seen tonight is the play fake, and you got to wonder whether that might be in the cards as they try to run that play up the gut, and this time Deer Park reads it.
Yep, didn't work that time. It's not going to work every time, but Coach Seipel likes that play. We see him call it a lot, and it is usually successful. Yeah, we're moving with some dispatch now. As you said, it's not quite hurry up, but things are moving just a little more quickly. Let's find Michael Gaughan again.
Goes back.
There he is. There he is. Oh, almost. Good play that time by
Number 32 there. Keith Reddish, we call his name again, is he's kind of doing it all. He does it a little bit on offense, does it on defense, and got to tip your hat to him. He stepped up in front of Mike Gaughan because you know if you get it anywhere near Gaughan, he's going to catch it.
Yep, that was close. That was just about that same play, only coming off the other side of the line as the third down catch by Michael here just a few plays ago. But Deer Park just did a little better job of getting over and defending that.
Here we go. Bo Cordell. He's back to pass. He's looking. Got a good pass there, and nice catch by.
Is it a catch? Yes, it is. All right. Yes. Kept his feet in bounds.
Call his name tonight.
Wow.
I'll tell you what Teddy did there, Greg, was gave up the body, put those two legs in, made sure he drug them in to make the catch.
Use that big 6'5" frame there.
That was a huge play because that was a third down play. It's now 1st and 10 on the 30-yard line.
1st and 10 Braves. That's right, at the Deer Park 30-yard line.
Well, here we go.
We said it earlier. You know, every quarterback's dream is to have a 6'5" receiver. And there you go with Ted Bolster. That was a heck of a catch.
John Whitehouse goes in motion.
Find him again. Look out, Bo. Look out, Bo. Throw it.
And that should be some interference there as
Jesus.
That defensive back number 6, Ben Rascona, was all over the intended receiver. There is a flag on the play, and that's going to be a huge penalty against Deer Park. If it is, in fact, pass interference, it's going to be a 15-yard penalty. And that is not what you want to see happen this late in the game, Greg, when the score's so close.
Yeah, number 6 is down over on the far sideline. That's Rascona.
That's Rascona. He's the boy that got called on the.
He may have been the culprit
on the infraction, and now perhaps he's.
Yeah, pass interference. Deer Park.
You know, that's a good example of when pass interference kind of benefits you in high school because it's not a spot foul like it is in the NFL. Had it been a pass interference in the NFL, the ball would be about where you see Rascona on the ground. That's about where the interference occurred.
Right.
Instead of a 3-yard gain and a first down, we get a 15-yard gain and a first down. We're knocking on the door. We're on the 15-yard line. Maybe it's Michael Gaughan time.
Absolutely. Let's do that again. I'd like to see some of that power running game in here too. Clock's on our side, 2:56.
Well, Greg,
I really think we can run the ball on these guys. We talked about that at halftime and the use of our power game. I think John Vaughn is ready. See how that offensive line's doing. I don't see Kevin McFarland in there, though. I'd like to see him in there.
Greg, earlier in the game, we mentioned that an Indian Hill Braves player was taken off the field. I think it was Mac Minturn, number 1. And I see his mom back in the stadium, and she's giving the thumbs up to everybody, telling us he's okay. And that is huge news for Braves fans.
Come on, John. That away, that away.
Kid. John Vaughn down to about the 10-yard line on a pickup of 5 yards. And Greg, 2:45 and counting, and now if you're Coach Seipel, you may want to run a little bit,
slow down
some time
a little bit. Absolutely.
Because Tyler showed us he only needs about 0.8 of a second to do
That's
something.
All Mr. Beard needs to score 7 points and 40-some yards, no problem. So, yeah, maybe we can run it down to about 0.8 of a second.
Let's not count our chickens before they're hatched because we still got to go about 11 yards for a touchdown. And
I see 34 Kevin McFarland in there now. Come on, Kevin. Oh.
Kevin McFarland gets down to.
Just tripped up, Dave.
But he gets down to about real close to first down territory, Greg. He's going to maybe be about a yard short. I'll tell you, if Kevin McFarland doesn't get the ball or John Vaughn doesn't get the ball on this play, I'm writing my congressman.
Absolutely, yeah. Writing Congress, the president, and the president of the Board of Education.
Here we go now. A big 3rd and 1. Perhaps the biggest 3rd and 1.
Oh. I don't know. Hopefully that's a first down.
Kind of hard to see if you look at the ref on the other side of the field.
No, he's showing 4th down. He's got his fist up. That's 4th down.
Great play
by Deer Park. Kevin McFarland was leading into the hole, but he got exploded by a couple of Deer Park.
Greg, it's 4th and a hair.
Yeah, literally.
And this might be a play where you see Bo Cordell do that QB sneak, but it's going to have to be a big play by the line as Bo asks everyone to quiet down. He's going to go up to the line, and K-Mac is going to get that first down.
Yeah, Kevin's got it.
He gets in.
Kevin hit that line hard.
And Greg.
Yeah, that's a first down.
Greg.
But we still don't have any points.
And I want to tell you something.
Let's go, boys.
There's 56.6 seconds on this clock.
This
now
is where
Deer
he
Park
needs that power. Needs that power offense now to match up against this goal line defense that Deer Park is bringing in. Everybody's clapping and cheering like it's over. It isn't over yet. We need to score here.
Hey, Greg, you know,
people need to concentrate.
This is the
keep
time.
their head in the game. No turnovers. You know, no snaps over the head.
You and I have been in this game long enough to know that there's two types of players. They're the guys that are playing the game and like playing the game, but don't necessarily want to be in the action. And then there's guys that say they want the ball.
Thrive on this.
They want this.
Yep.
And you know, it's got to be a great feeling for the Braves down there that are now in a position. This game has been like a war, and they have fought back to their credit, and they put themselves in a position to win this game. And guys like Kevin McFarland are guys that will take that ball and do everything it takes to win. Bo Cordell now has the ball, first and goal on the 4-yard line. He's got K-Mac and John Vaughn in the backfield. He's going to give the ball to Leonard Wriston, and Leonard Wriston! Yeah, baby! What a huge baby! That young man, number 26,
great ball by Coach Seipel, I'll tell you.
Awesome
nice
fake.
Ball.
What an awesome fake.
Yep.
Both K-Mac and John Vaughn made. I was going to tackle both of them, and then Leonard gets the ball.
Deer Park was trying to tackle him.
He gave up his body like nobody's business to get that touchdown, and what a huge touchdown it is. And now there's 51.7 seconds on the clock. The Braves are up by 1. And Greg, you got to
go for 2. I don't know that it much matters. Let's see what he does.
I would go for 2 if I were the Braves.
51 seconds.
And once again,
well, you call that same play, I'll tell you. That just worked fantastic. Let's turn it around and go the other way. let's go sweep back the other side, because there was one guy out there, one Deer Park defender out there, and he didn't have much of a chance with Leonard. So he just popped that baby in there.
Leonard might have just
gotta love it.
Made an advertisement for the Air Force as he dove into the end zone and really showed some leaping abilities. I don't know who the track coach is here at Indian Hill, but if I'm looking for a high jumper or a long jumper, I might give that young man a look.
Well, even sprints, hurdles, whatever. You know, I'm sure the track coach is going to be all over that. Might have already been talking to Leonard, for that matter. So great to see the Braves fight back. The defense has done their job in the second half.
Okay, Greg, I'm going to ask you this question again. Deer Park has not beaten the Braves in this century. Can you tell me the last time they beat the Braves?
1998. 1998. I don't know the date, but it was 36-30 in overtime, and it was on the road.
Well, here we go now as Bo Cordell and John Vaughn are back in the backfield, and Teddy Balser is unable to pull the ball through as he was open, but the ball was just thrown over his
little high
extended hands. And now, Greg, everything that happens in the next 15 minutes becomes very important. Special teams, defense, and all these kids now have to get together. You can see the emotion on the field. You can see how these coaches are talking to these young men and telling them how important the next.
Look at the crowd too, standing. Crowd's been on its feet. Still on its feet.
Are going to be
record crowd tonight. We don't see any open seats anywhere. I'm looking out the booth, and the stands are packed.
Homecoming senior night.
Homecoming senior night.
Friday the 13th. We got it all tonight, Greg.
Lucky Friday the 13th. So
big number 45. Michael Schmidt gets ready to kick what might be one of the most important kickoffs of his rather short career as a kicker.
All of the last 8 weeks, yeah.
Now, you know, if Mike goes on to college and plays football, you think he's going to be a kicker in football.
Might just be a kicker. No, I don't think he's going to be a kicker. But he's done all right. Let's see what he can do with this one. See if
Here
it's
he
one of those
goes.
squib jobs again. This will be one of his squibbers. Oh. Well,
And that was a pretty good job
that
there
didn't
by
work
the
so well.
Deer Park player number 60,
That didn't work out.
Willie Cox, who might be a shortstop on the baseball team,
Yeah.
Greg. That ball
Good
should
set
have
of
gone.
hands.
The plan was that ball was going to spit by Willie and go back to about the 30-yard line. Somebody's going to drop on it. Willie got out there and stopped it, dropped right on it. Puts them, we know what Tyler Beard can do with 0.8 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
He's got 47.1 seconds.
He's got way too much time at this point.
Well, the Indian
We need
Hill
a big-
crowd,
We need a big pass rush here.
if the Indian Hill crowd has anything to do with it, Tyler Beard is
Big
not going
pass
to be
rush. Come on, defensive
successful
line.
here as he's back to pass
Come
on
on,
first
defensive
down,
line.
and he throws it out in the flat, and it's complete to number 3, their big receiver, Ethan Carey, who's been burning us all night, Greg, and Ethan does two things correctly. Gets the first down, gets out of bounds.
Yep. They've got this short field to work with, Dave. That's a problem.
41.6 seconds now as Beard and Carey
What kind of field goal kicker they got, but
are able to convert. Well, we've seen
they find out.
number 6, Ben Rescona, and he does a
yeah,
pretty
he kicked
good
that
job.
extra point, so.
And here goes Tyler Beard, and yes, baby,
Gotta
as
get him. Yeah,
came
that'll
back at 57. Chase Daniels are able to get in there, and that forces Coach
Pettyjohn
to burn a timeout.
Yep.
I don't know how many timeouts they have. Looks like 2 are showing up there on the board.
Board showing 2. I don't remember him using any thus far, so I think that's right. Coach Tyson comes out on the field to talk with his defense. Our young future Braves bringing the water out for the team.
And Greg, you know, as a parent of a kid that's on the football team, just such an exciting experience to be involved in this program.
I'll tell you, Dave, there is nothing better than high school football. And when the boys are playing well, it just doesn't get any better than that. We've had a great run here these last 2.5 years as we've talked. You know, the team is undefeated in the regular season, going all the way back to September 17th of 2004. And hopefully we're on the brink of maintaining that record here tonight.
2nd and 12 now as the crowd really gets into it.
We need that big
yelling
pass
and
rush
screaming,
again.
encouraging
Need
their
that big
players
pass
to
rush.
get fired up, and let's see if we can dial up that
Let's
big
see that
pass
rush. Come on, let's see that rush.
Tyler is able to get the ball.
Boy, that,
He's got time.
That young man can throw, can he? He puts that thing just on a rope to number 3.
Well, when he's got time, I'll tell you, he can get the ball out there. And
It's just like nothing. That's like child's play.
Ethan Carey is the Deer Park Wildcats' answer to our Ted Bolser. We're talking about how Ted is a big, strong player, can go up and get the ball. Ethan is every bit as strong. And
well, they're just about in field goal range at this point, so.
One of the things you're going to see now, Greg, is I was mentioning Teddy Bolser, number 33. Didn't know this was going to happen. Teddy, with the system that's been implemented by Coach Seipel this year, where you play one side of the ball, hoping to give you more strength at the end of the game. Teddy is a great defensive player.
Yeah.
And they're bringing him in now at a linebacker position or as in a defensive back position. I think in part because he's got the ability to cover guys, but he's got great hands. And what they're looking for is an answer to Ethan Carey, maybe a big guy like Ethan to shut him down. And let's see if that pays off.
Receiver on receiver. Let's put hands on hands. Let's hope so, because they're just about in field goal range at this point.
28.1 seconds is all that remains in this exciting game. And
one timeout each.
Tyler Beard is trying to do his best to bring his team back from a 1-point deficit. Right now the score is 28, Indian Hill 27. Deer Park,
Come on,
he's
we
back
need that
to
pass
passing.
rush.
Nice!
Away.
Sam Moore, number 55,
away.
sacks
Sammy
Tyler back
Moore,
on the
Joe
35-yard
Ordeman.
line. And,
Ross
you know,
Lockwood in there.
I'll tell you, Greg, bringing Teddy in kind of did the trick, because what happened was the receivers were all covered. Tyler was back, and Sam Moore really put some pressure on the quarterback, has forced Coach Pettyjohn to to call his
There's
last
final
timeout.
That's right. They're
now
out
there
of
is
timeouts.
21 seconds. He can throw
only
4 or
needs
5
.8,
touchdowns
yeah.
in that amount of time. But now if we can sack Tyler or bring the receiver or the runner down in bounds, the clock will keep running.
Yeah, that loss there was huge because they're definitely out of field goal range at this point too. That ball's on a 35-yard line, so that's going to be a 45-plus field goal. I mean, plus.
Well, it'd be a 52-yard field goal because you got to add the 7.
Right. But yeah, we're already over the edge before we add the 7. So that's the good news. But let's see what Coach Pettijohn and Mr. Beard have in mind here. Need another big pass rush. Let's get it, Braves.
21 seconds.
See that rush? Come on.
Back.
Come on. That's
Braves
it.
on the move.
That's it. Oh, that's grounding. That's grounding, baby. Woo! That's grounding. That'll send them back.
But I will tell you this, Greg. They're going to lose it down. That was a pretty smart play by Tyler because it stopped the clock.
Yeah. That should be intentional grounding, a loss of down. It should be 4th down.
Well, it's going to be 3rd down.
He's waving it off.
How could he wave that off? How could he possibly wave that off? Unless they're saying that there was
somebody
receiver.
In the area. That could be. Yeah, that stops the clock.
A huge call by the refs. And, man, I'll tell you.
Ted Bolser's still in there, number 33 for the Braves on defense.
If that won't get your gumption going, I don't know what will now. 15.2
this is it right here.
Seconds to go. It's 3rd down and 19. I don't think Tyler's too worried about that. I think what he's worried about trying to get the ball down close to field goal range or perhaps into the end zone. This could be the season right here for the Braves. And see what happens here is a dead ball foul.
Yeah.
It's going to be something.
Delay? That's a delay, right?
Either a delay or movement on the part of
I think it was a delay because they stopped the play. That would make it a dead ball.
Well, once a lineman moves anyway, it's dead ball.
Well, that's true.
That's what it looks like to me.
Let's see the signal. Let's see what he gives us. A little conferencing going on here.
And I'll tell you, these guys sure talk a lot.
They do a lot of darn talking, and I didn't think it was that complicated. Let's see. Well, now he's going to talk to this guy.
Well, one of the problems you got is we ran
now
a couple
he's going to come
seconds.
over and tell.
We ran a second off the clock, and I think what he's going to try to tell the timekeeper that he wants
14.1 seconds.
And they're calling up there. Can't be 16 seconds. It was 15.2 before this play. 15.1 is what they're saying, and that's what we got on the scoreboard.
Yeah. All right, here we go. We got things straightened out.
15.1.
Apologies to the refs. They were absolutely correct. They need to get the correct time on the clock. Well,
I think this guy's, now where'd you say we're going after the game? Oh, okay.
Yeah. We're going to Willie's. No, we're not. We're going to the Village Tavern. No, we're not.
All right, here we go. 15.1 seconds for Tyler Beard and his
We need a big pass rush here.
Braves
come on, bring on this rush, boys. Bring it on.
Here comes number 57, Chase Daniels.
Yeah, baby! Yeah, all right. Incomplete pass, so stops the clock.
I got to tell you, Greg, he's in the grasp, and the ref should step up and call that. I mean, that was just a sheer
His knees are on the ground. His knees are about on the ground, and he's throwing it, yeah.
And the clock's running. They did call it. This will be the last play of the game. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time is out. Time has expired. Ball is up. Way overthrown.
Indian Hill Braves succeeded 28-27.
And
fireworks, baby!
What an exciting game for the
wow.
and these coaches. champions of the CHL, the Indian Hill Braves, who come back in dramatic fashion here to win this game. And you can
that
see how
defensive line. Look at Chase Daniels out there, number 57. Sammy Moore, Joey Werdeman, Ross Lockwood. Those guys won this game in the end. I mean, it was a team effort to win the game, but these last 50 seconds have been dominated by our defensive line. They just absolutely took it to them.
But I will say this to Coach Pettyjohn's credit. The Braves won this game. Deer Park did lose the game, but what an outstanding job that Deer Park did. You got to tip
they
your
did a
hat
fantastic
to them.
job.
They gave us everything we wanted.
Absolutely.
They came in here to play, and they're a great football team.
Absolutely. Well, 1-point defeat, that's tough. This is that kind of game that nobody should lose. I mean, it really, truly is the kind of football game that you hate to see a loser. But there is one every week, so our hats go off to Deer Park. They did a great job.
As the Braves congratulate the Wildcats in this nail-biter and look to next week, they're going to be playing Reading at Reading. We'll have to see what happened out there. If Reading lost, the Braves are the CHL champs. If Reading won, the pressure's back on next week as we have to pick it back up. Enjoy this game tonight, but get ready for Reading next week as we get ready for the postseason.
Yep, absolutely, Dave. And I'll tell you, no one has left the stadium. Look out here. The crowd is just stunned. I think it's stunned on both sides, but the Indian Hill crowd hasn't even started to leave the stadium yet. What an exciting end to this game, I'll tell you. Yep,
Greg?
Yep. A lot of congratulations in the booth here. A lot of people coming in and out. I don't know if we'll get a chance to get any late game stats or not before we go off the air, Dave, but just a great job by the Braves here.
The big stat you need is 1 point victory.
1 point.
It's as good as a 20-point victory. The Indian Hill Braves have beaten the Deer Park Wildcats in a thriller here at Tomahawk Stadium. The score 28-27. And
as the fireworks go off overhead, courtesy of Indian Hill Boosters.
They maintain their perfect record. They're now
8-0. 8-0. Haven't lost a game since
2004.
September 17, 2004. You got it,
and the streak
you
continues. Well,
the streak is going. Dave, it's been fun, and what an exciting football game. And fans, we hope you've enjoyed the game tonight. We do not think we'll have the Reading game next week, but hopefully we will be back on the air in 2 weeks for the Purcell-Marion game, which is being played at Paul Brown Stadium.
And if not that game, hopefully the Braves will have a home playoff game, and we'll see you. If we don't see you, Greg, it's been fun.
Good job, buddy. Great job. It has been fun.
Denny Dubs for letting us do this, and we'll say goodbye to you from up here at Tomahawk Stadium, everybody.
All right. Good night, everybody.
We'll see you in the future.
All right.
Bye.
Good night.